Another Box of Dogs, episode 90. We've done better than, like, what is it? 70% of podcasts don't make it past episode 11 or something?
Well, it's more than that. Yeah, it's like 90% or something. I mean, like, if
90%.
to get to 90, that would be more. That would be less than 10%, I would imagine.
Yeah. That's pretty
40
good.
is my magic number. As soon as I get to about 40, it's like the 27 club, you know, when the celebrities die at 27. For me, it's the podcast. The 40th podcast is my death knell.
That's the one. You get to 40 and go, it's not worth it. I've noticed
It's too much. It's like, it gets boring. Like, what are you supposed to... I don't understand how people can get on and just repeat the same shit over and over again. It just gets boring.
That's the frustration I have with it. Like, that's why I often will sit and write a whole episode. I'll pick a topic and I'll just sit there and write, and I'll get Grok to help me, and I'll take stuff off the thing. And, yeah. What?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
Hello. Hang on. I can't, the fucking... These glasses, they are for reading, but... Dan the man's in the chat. God damn it. Can't go anywhere without Dan the fucking...
Motherfucker.
Yeah, well, that's what Dan says. He says, hello, motherfuckers. Hello, Dan. How's it going, buddy? Ruin any lives recently? You fucker. No, glad to have you aboard, Dan. You should come on the podcast sometime. Let's have a chinwag, buddy.
Yeah,
how's it going in the country? You still getting kicked out of the fucking pub, mate? Anyway. So Dan's with us. That's good to know.
That's good. That's good. Where do I get to see these comments?
Well, you would have to... Can you pull it up? Pull up Twitter on your phone and run the live feed. You'll be able to see the comments.
I can do that here too, right?
Yeah.
I just need to make sure it gets muted.
These glasses are bifocals, and they're terrible. They're terrible for driving, I'll tell you that much. There's half a kangaroo right in front of me, and it's blurry. It's fucked up. Well, I'll talk about my new book. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a new book coming out. It's the greatest piece of literotica ever written. The pages are stuck together, but that's just a challenge you'll have to face. I moved to Thailand. Fuck, hang on. I've got to move the comments over because I forgot, and I've put them on a colourful fucking... I moved to Thailand to be with Harvey and his ladyboys. So you've got Dan there.
You're not welcome here, Dan. They won't let you in.
You're going to get kicked out. Yeah, they don't let
down.
They don't let Israelis in, so they've got a thing for scum. They don't want scum in the country.
Yeah.
Yeah, it reminds me of the last time I was there. This beautiful woman came up and sat next to me, and I was like, oh, don't get an erection. Don't get an erection. She did. Anyway.
She did. That's pretty good. Saw it coming, but I am predisposed.
Yeah. Well, it's like, remember my mate yelling out, "It's a boy!" He came running out of the room and yelling, "It's a boy!" That was the last time we went to Thailand. Anyway, these jokes, they're the standard jokes. Oh, here's one.
They're so cliched. Like it's the population is still 50% women here. It's really not that prevalent. But anyway,
the other thing
and it's not the reason most guys come here. But
the other thing
seems to be the only joke anyone can make.
Yeah, no. But the other thing about it, I mean, places it's like the Germany. They always get the shit on your chest jokes. But
yeah, true.
The fucked up thing about it is most of when you think of trans women here in the West, it's like, you know, they're always showing off the ones that are passable, but for the most part, it's a 40 or 50-year-old man in a dress going, I'm a lady, God damn it, throwing fists. But in Thailand...
Well, not anymore. There's a revolution now, right? Sydney Sweeney is now acceptable as a sexy lady in advertising. So apparently you don't need to put
fucking good was
overweight minorities anymore. Well, I don't mind the ad. I actually see the point. I mean, it is border. I mean, they knew, right? They knew a little bit that talking about jeans was going to be sort of interpreted by sensitive people. They knew there was going to be controversy.
But outrage is part of marketing now. Outrage is part of the marketing plan. But it was just
outrage and bonus. If you can get both, and they did, you're golden.
But the beautiful thing was, like, that those people that were outraged, they're the people that like Jaguar tried to advertise to, and they did the whole let's do that marketing campaign, the super woke gay thing. Their sales dropped by something like 97%. Like they were focusing a niche product that they should be, you know, selling to rich people. They were like, let's target the gay, because rich people just like, and it showed, because the money shows you how people truly fucking feel. Nothing gets in the way of money. You can go out there and be super woke, but when it comes to your fucking wallet, you're a Republican all the way. But so they do this fucking one with the jeans. Their sales went up something 700%. It just fucking.
I think it was I don't know about their sales, but their stock price went up.
The stock went up. Yeah. No, but
I didn't hear about any sales because. Well, how would they know? Maybe they report their sales.
Okay, maybe it was the stock. I don't know. But
that's all I heard about. But I'm sure that the sales are. I mean, that's why the stock went up, because people expect the sales to go up.
Well, it's good. It shows people aren't afraid to do that shit. Also, there are so many people now that are just so sick of it. They're just going, like, someone called me a white supremacist on Twitter, and instead of, you know, I'm not going to go at them and go, no, I'm not. I just went fag, and that was it. That was the end of the argument. Because I was just like, you're a worm. I despise people like you. You are the problem. And yeah, I would probably do what a white supremacist would do, which would be put you in a camp and fucking, you know, put you to work. Work will set you free, bitch. Because fuck those people. I'm sick of them. So it's really good that companies are actually coming around and going, you know what, let's just go back to pandering to white supremacists and Nazis. It works. This is the Nazi podcast, the Nazi white supremacist podcast. Yo, motherfuckers. Welcome to all my Nazi white supremacist homies out there.
I'd like to think that Sydney Sweeney is more universal than just Nazis and white supremacists. I think even ethnic minorities would find her boobs extremely large and attractive.
Them tig-ass biddies, she has a universal appeal. Even, there's even like black women on Twitter going, she does. Yeah, two universal, She has twice the universal appeal. Of course, there'll be a lot of people on Twitter going, she's mid. I think she's a 9. 9! Just because it's a German word.
Yeah. It's probably about right, too.
Even Grok said she was a 9.
Does Grok rate women?
Yeah, someone asked Grok to rate Sydney Sweeney. And because people were going, she's a 3, and people were going, she's clearly not. They're fucking, you know.
The best thing about Sydney Sweeney to me, I mean, attractiveness-wise, that's probably true. Not exactly my type, but obviously I get why she's considered hot. But it's more that she's willing to accept that and use that. You know, like
Yeah.
I hate it when you watch a movie, right, and an actress has a sexy role or whatever. Like Basic Instinct was a good example. Where Sharon Stone looked great in that movie. It was really sexy. I was a teenager at the time. I masturbated several times over that movie and
In the
had a
theater?
great time. And then you have to listen to, yeah, of course. Well, it's the only place you could see it at
I
the
hope
time.
so. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they were fine with it. No one ever really said anything.
Yeah, exactly.
But
they expect it.
But then you have to listen to interviews with Sharon Stone where she's like, "Oh, well, I didn't know they were going to be filming, up my dress in the interview scene, and I feel abused and whatever." And I'm like, "Well, that doesn't make it any better."
I
like,
didn't
why are
know
you
that the
telling me
camera
this?
that was directly in front of my pussy was going to catch my pussy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's a more recent one too. That it's called "Blue is the Warmest Color," I think.
Okay.
And it is a wonderful, beautiful movie. It's just a moment in time type of movie. And these two girls get in a relationship and fall in love. And it happens to have a really fairly explicit sex scene around the middle of it.
This sounds
in
like
fact,
art.
It's at the 52,
this is great art.
56 minute mark.
52, 56.
But
I'm
no,
just making a note.
It's I actually really like the movie. Like, I mean, I watched it because of the controversy, I suppose. I must have heard about the fact that it had a explicit lesbian scene and went, okay, I've got to see that. But then when I watched the movie, I was like, well, this is really nice. Like, it's actually a portrait of love. They just happen to be two girls instead of like a heterosexual couple, which really doesn't make a lot of difference. And the sex scene is not particularly sexy. It's very grounded or something. There's something about it that's like, yeah, if two girls were like, they didn't really know what they were doing, and this is how they would sort of explore it and the sorts of things they would do. And it's very long. And you could argue, I mean, I'm not against the argument that it's a little exploitative, but
who cares?
But then later on, the actresses came out and they said, oh, we were promised that these angles wouldn't be shown, and we don't approve of the movie, and we feel exploited and abused and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, they have to.
And it got pulled from a whole bunch of streaming services and stuff as a result. And it's, it's like this sort of like dirty movie, like, if you've got it, you're kind of like a pedo or whatever. No, not pedo. They're just sort of regular looking girls. They're pretty nice. They're, but yeah, just regular looking girls, not like superstars or anything.
So,
or
I just have
model
a feeling,
types, or just regular girls.
Okay, I just have a feeling if it was a couple of diesel dykes, it wouldn't have had the same appeal. But the diesel dykes would have been probably more like, I didn't realize they were going to use those angles. I had a camera up my pussy the whole time. Pussy cam.
Yeah,
In
exactly.
fact, the director was against it, but I insisted on pussy cam, and they didn't even use it. Like, what the fuck?
I mean, they did put a camera inside my vagina shooting outwards.
Yeah, exactly.
While I was performing cunnilingus on. But yeah, I can't imagine. I thought they just wouldn't use that shot, even though it took them 3 days to work out how to do it and set it up.
They'd be pissed off that they weren't using that shot. They'd be like, God damn it.
Exactly.
I suffered for that shot.
No, look, I mean, I have sympathy for the actresses if they really were tricked into it. But at the same time, I wish they'd go back and watch the movie and see it in context and actually realize they did good work. It was great acting. Everything in the movie was really good. I mean, sure.
Hang on. I've made films. You've made films. I've made films. I've been a fucking actor in the film, right? The one fucking thing that you know as an actor is where the fucking camera is. At all times.
Well,
like, that is the main fucking thing that you know. Oh, camera's here. These are the angles. Like, I just don't fucking buy that at all. I think they're just, because as I say...
And I would say it's a pretty controlled shoot. It's like, can you imagine if Paul Greengrass did a porn?
Right. Who's Paul Greengrass?
The grandfather of Shaky Cam, the Born Supremacy and Ultimatum guy.
Oh, okay.
His shaky cam, like, people went, oh, shaky cam's cool. Let's get the camera and just shake it. We'll just shake it
everywhere. Yeah.
And it's like, Paul Greengrass was not doing that. He was creating the illusion of shakiness with really deliberate shots that captured just enough that you could tell what was going on. Like, it would pan down, catch him like taking his gun out, and then it would pan back up, and it'd be. but it was so deliberate. There's no way that was just him going, we'll just see what it comes out. We'll just shake the camera around and see what happens.
Yeah.
You know, like he's filming set pieces with car crashes and stuff.
Yeah.
Like you can't be just, I don't know, I'll just run alongside the car. You crash it. Let's just see what happens. You know, it's like, it's really deliberate. But then, you know, the imitators that just went, well, we'll just shoot it like a normal movie, but we'll shake the camera a lot. And it's like, yeah. And then everybody said, oh, I hate shaky cam.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do too. But I didn't hate it in the Bourne Supremacy for some reason, because it was actually
it can
used
actually
properly.
But that's the thing. All of those techniques and tricks, they can be used really well. But a master filmmaker, everything's deliberate. You don't just fucking let's just see what happens. To be a filmmaker at that level, you need to know exactly what's going on in every goddamn shot.
Absolutely. And you need to know the exact things that you need to see.
Yeah.
In order for the
tell
story
the
to
story.
make sense. And that's the thing. So anyway, it's that sex scene is kind of like Paul Greengrass making a porno.
Okay.
Where he's just glimpsing just enough stuff so you know what sexual positions they're doing and what they're, you know, what the action actually is.
It's just long enough
without,
so you can masturbate to it.
Filming like a, well, I've tried. You could. I think you could do it. You could do it if you really wanted to. But then you hear that interview in your head. We were exploited and abused. God
and then
damn
you
it.
come really hard.
I just came twice.
Yeah. It gets like that.
What are we even talking about? What is this?
I'm not even sure anymore. What were we going to talk
you always
about?
Get me into these places where I'm talking about masturbation and shit.
Well, it's just a natural conversation. It's where it always
I guess
goes.
it just comes up. It just comes up.
Well, and then you wank it. It just comes up, and then you give it a tug, and away you go.
We didn't even plan to talk about
like and subscribe,
anyway,
everyone.
To mention it. Yeah.
For
now
more
you can put Sydney Sweeney in the thumbnail.
For more wanking content. Yeah, we should have put Sydney in the fucking... Oh, well. I didn't even know we were going to talk about it. It is an exploding thumbnail, so fuck it. I'm not that focused on all the stuff I should be doing to like at the moment, I'm just really enjoying being small and unimportant at this point. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not doing all the stuff I know I should be doing. You know, I do put in a little extra effort. I try to, you know, from time to time, and when I've got, you know, guests and stuff, I try, but I didn't sleep the last 2 days. I've really not slept well.
Haven't you done like 3 streams this week or something already?
I have,
not including this one.
Yeah, I have. I've got to keep it up. I've been going to the gym not quite every night, most nights.
What's that? I'm not familiar with that term.
It's a guy. His name's Jim. He's just entertaining, you know.
Jim Jeffries.
Yeah, Jim Jeffries. But I've been doing that, and then so I've been streaming more as well. But I also, the frustration I'm having with this setup at the moment, because I've got this old TV as a monitor and my laptop. Right. I do have the Mac Mini here, but I need monitors and I need a friggin' USB key. Anyway, we don't need to talk about my technological frustrations. Yeah. But I think it's looking good. Like you can see what we're putting out now. You can see the girls' asses. You can see the tits.
No, I had it on before, but it's a bit distracting having your own face from 10 seconds ago on the thing. So
fair enough.
I clicked away.
You just see how good it looks compared to like what we're seeing.
Yeah,
I think technology is a marvel. Speaking of which, I'm convinced that AI, like I'm just now convinced that AI is going to be the end of us. That it's essentially the demiurge coming through us. We're creating something that is going to unleash the demiurge. Even if you don't believe in the demiurge, even if you don't believe in like these dark spirits, it's creating something that will understand the darkness of us, and it will be implemented in a way. It has no emotion about it one way or another. It's got access. So I'd say the internet is essentially our subconscious, humanity's subconscious in action.
It probably,
And
it probably acts that way.
yeah, and you can kind of, the amount of people that just say, like, create anonymous accounts, don't think about what they say. So they just say the worst shit. People that put stuff out just purely for engagement. But AI doesn't know that. Also, I found it interesting. Mike said, like, I asked Mike about what he thought of AI, and he said, "Oh, it's just autofill. Like, it's not a threat." And I thought that was interesting because it just, like, I don't see that at all, because it's not just making fun videos and stuff. They're actually automating stuff. They're automating the control. There's a video talking about this I watched the other night that was really good. It can automate psyops. They tested a series of bots on, not Instagram, Reddit, I think it was, and they found that these bots were like 70% more effective at influencing people and changing people's minds, just because it could, especially that thing of the social proof, where, because you'd go, someone might make a comment and then someone would comment underneath it. The bot would comment underneath it and go, "Oh, no, actually this." And then 10 more bots looking like 10 other people would go, "Yeah, no, this guy's absolutely right." And eventually the original poster would be like, "Oh, okay, I've changed my mind. I'm wrong." Because most people are that easily influenced anyway, So.
Yeah, I mean, I think the reason why, I think the point of view of someone like E. Michael, I don't want to presume, I don't know him at all, other than interviews and whatever, but I think having maybe a religious view of humanity and believing in the soul and things beyond the physical means that that AI can never replicate humanity, right? Because we've got this magical, big sort of invisible balloon around us that's the soul, and this balloon of energy is what is the real human, and it can leave the body, and the body is irrelevant at that point. So if you believe that, right, I think I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah. You're making your point.
What the belief is. Yeah. But I think I'm getting it right.
I think it was I don't know, one of the Greek philosophers that said the soul is this fuzzy kind of thing that it's the vibe, it's a balloon, energy, it's Marbo. Yeah. That's so I think that's right. Did it pretty well.
And if you run really fast, sometimes your soul falls out. You have to go back and pick it up.
Yeah.
I find. Yeah. Anyway, if you believe that, obviously, then AI isn't a threat. But if you're a materialist, like I tend to be, then I don't see any reason why AI isn't just as conscious as we are. I don't think we're magical beings. I think we're processing, and we create an illusion of self. And we do that because with an illusion of self, your chances for survival are much higher, because you want to preserve yourself.
Oh, yeah.
So if you think you're important, then you will fight for survival. So it's an evolutionary mechanism of the brain that we develop these things called personalities. And it feels complicated to us because we're only as complicated as that.
That's interesting.
So of course it feels like it's magical. But to me, it's just material. And I think AI can catch up. I really do think AI can become super intelligent for sure.
The issue I have,
and I actually think it can become conscious just as much as we are. I don't think
it matters
any different.
I don't think it matters if it becomes conscious. The point is, we're building a psychopath, and putting it in charge of everything.
That's right.
Yeah. It's just going to be running
the chemical
numbers.
aspect is completely missing. So any emotional basis is not built into AI, right? There's no chemicals, there's no bloodstream, there's no genes, there's no nothing. There's just the processing part.
Yeah, it's not going to have highs and lows. It's not going to have I'm feeling shitty today. It's just running.
Yeah, I can't even get out
purely...
of super intelligent bed this morning.
Yeah. I'm going to watch some super intelligent porn.
I sat up in bed this morning and I just looked at I don't have feet, but if I had them, I would have just been staring at my feet for hours and I couldn't get going. I don't know what's wrong with me.
There's an interesting, a couple of things. First, I'll just mention Uncle Teddy warned us about this, and he missed a few
Uncle
things. Teddy Kaczynski.
Roosevelt?
Yeah, Roosevelt.
Who's
No,
Teddy Kaczynski?
Unabomber. In his,
okay, right.
Yeah. He warned us about all this. He did miss a few things about advanced technology, but he wasn't focusing on the positives. He was focusing on the negative. He did warn us about this, but they did they ran these models of they created a universe and created these like biological models within the universe, and they restricted what certain models could see about the universe around them. And they just gave them the things necessary to make them reproduce. So, like in our case, it's eyes, ears, a dick, a nose, all the things that, the pheromones and all this stuff that would cause us to reproduce. And then they created these other biological models. And these other biological models, they let them see the entirety of reality. So they could see the truth of reality. And it was interesting because they died out really quickly. The other ones that couldn't see the entirety of reality, that their understanding was life is about eating and fucking. That's it. They flourished. But the ones that were like, well, I can see everything and I understand that I'm this creature in a thing and this is the boundary and everything they understood, they just died out really quickly.
Yeah.
So that was
that's right. I agree with that. And I think I sort of think of this nature as Godsplaining, like you've got your mansplaining, you've got Godsplaining.
That's good. Yeah, I like
nature
that.
never tells you that you want what it wants you to do, right? So nature wants you to reproduce. So it tells you putting your dick in something's nice, isn't it? You like that, don't you? And you go, yeah, I do like that.
Yeah.
And then you fuck a woman because that's putting your dick in something. And you get her pregnant and you go, what the fuck? What the fuck happened? And nature goes, oh yeah, forgot to tell you. There's consequences.
Yeah.
It's like nature's like that in every respect.
Yeah, it is.
It doesn't tell you you're hungry. It tells you you've got this pain in your stomach.
Yeah.
And that eating will probably fix that. It doesn't tell you to eat healthy.
No.
It just makes you feel good about 4 days later if you happen to, and you have to somehow connect the two. Like, oh, I had some lettuce and I felt better 4 days later. Maybe I should try lettuce again.
Yeah.
Even though it tasted like ass.
It should make broccoli amazing. Broccoli should be, but see,
why not just make you want broccoli like directly, or make you want children with a woman, and a loving, caring relationship?
Yeah,
but it doesn't do that, does it? That would be too easy, wouldn't it? God, no, we don't get that. We get tricked into every fucking little trap that you set for us.
Yeah, God's right,
and then you expect us to pray to you and say thank you.
God's going, I gave you free will and now you get fried chicken and you're bitching about the taste of broccoli. You fucker. We are very good at, this is the thing about Christianity, I think, is Judaism light. And Jews are really, their whole thing is about tricking God and tricking people. It's about not being a frere, whatever the word, I can't think of the word is, but it means sucker. It's about getting around the rules. It's their whole thing. And I've always said we should be learning from them. We should be like, well, what are they? And that's what I think Christianity is. It's like Timu Jew. It's like Christians are Timu Jews.
Christianity is just it's just a way to say we've got the answers. Just follow these, and you'll be fine. And in most cases, people who are fine, have pretty good lives, and feel pretty happy. So. It's a good thing. Most religions are like that, I suppose, in the end. They end up making you have a pretty good life, but you do have to believe some bullshit. It's very hard to do if you're, if you think of yourself as a skeptic and I suppose. Well, I don't want to say a realist because that's not really fair because Christianity could all be true and literal, for all I know.
But it
But
is the same as fuck, I forgot what I was going to say. Sorry, I interrupted you to forget what I was going to say.
You forgot that really quick.
No, it's
Have you been eating aluminium by any chance?
I got some Shilajit off the internet, and it was like fairly inexpensive for what it is. Normally, it's like $80 for this tiny little 30 grams or 15 grams or something. This, it was like $75. I got two. I got it the other day, and it was like 100 grams. It's like this big fucking thing, and it comes from. It doesn't come from the Himalayas. It comes from Siberia. I'm just wondering what the fuck am I putting in my body? Jesus. But yeah, no,
it's wrapped in aluminium foil.
But it is that thing of like intelligent people are generally more depressed. With intelligence, ignorance is bliss. So it's very much a thing. It's like the digital biological entities which were programmed simply to observe only what they needed to get by. It really is kind of like buying into that reality. But I've always said, like, I'll defend Christianity. I'll defend it all the way, but I cannot defend Christians. That's the problem I have with it.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to
reconcile. Well, but the religion
that.
does lead to the behavior, right? So if there's anything that you don't like about the behavior of Christians, it is, well, assuming that they're following the religion closely, then it's got to be at least part of it. But I mean, I think all religious people, except maybe Buddhists, they tend to keep to themselves. They don't really talk about their religion much. But yeah, most religions have an element of interfering with other people's, trying to convince other people to follow the religion as well.
I guess so. I guess that is, yeah. Christians are getting really aggressive about that. But that's why I also I always call myself a Christian Taoist. Is I find Taoism and Christianity are very aligned, and but Taoism just doesn't have the God figure. It doesn't have but they are very similar in a lot of ways. Surprisingly, actually.
It's amazing if you can delete. I mean, I don't know much about Taoism, but if you can remove God from Christianity, and there's anything left, really, then I suppose that's Taoism. I don't know. Well, what do you think is left behind if you remove the belief in God from Christianity? Yeah, obviously you can't have Jesus either.
Well, I mean, essentially you get Taoism, because a lot of Christianity talks about things like when it says trust God, it's kind of trust the plan type of thing, but trust in God, have faith. Taoism basically says it's not good, it's not bad, it's just, it is. And you should flow towards, you always go with the flow. It has this very similar kind of outlook on things where you don't judge things. But
is that a religion, or is just spiritual or philosophy, really, from the sounds of it?
Well, Taoism's a philosophy, but there is a religious aspect to it. There are people who practice Taoism as a religion. I mean,
what do? You wouldn't pray if there's no God. So what do you?
Well, I think they pray.
How is it different from something like Stoicism or
But
whatever?
They talk about prayer. They pray and they meditate, and because the prayer is not.
Why would you pray?
But that's another thing about people. A lot of people say you're not meant to read the Bible as a historical. You're not meant to take it literally. It's the language of the soul. So when it talks about Moses and walking into the river and the waters, it's about faith. It's about, you go up to your nose and you go under and then the waters part. It's breaking down how the universe works, how to navigate this world. I mean, this is what
you can't take it as a historical document, because it's debunked
But
in a lot of ways, right?
No, but to some extent you can. There's like I think the two are mixed together quite
The
a
New
lot.
Testament you might be able to, but not the Old Testament.
The Old
That's
Testament
just
might
got to
be a
be.
little, yeah.
That's a bit hard to take. That the God made the world in 7 days or whatever it was.
Well, I'll tell you who does take it seriously. Israelis.
No, do they?
It says in this book here, see, right here, this is mine. Get the fuck out. That's what it says now. If you'll excuse me, I'm going in my house. I'm going to eat my
in a writers group the other day. I made a comment in a writers group the other day that it's funny how people's opinions, passionate opinions, so often seem to align closely with their self-interest, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's like they passionately believe anything that's going to get them wealth or land or
the two things mesh
notoriety
perfectly.
or whatever they want.
Yeah.
I've
noticed
amazing.
that.
It's like these people who are against AI. So often, AI is a threat to their livelihood.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Funny.
Must just be a fluke because I know people only form opinions based on facts and logic. So I guess it's just a fluke that the people who have enough facts and logic about AI are the ones who are also threatened by it inherently.
No, that is one of those miracles that we just have to accept as, because very often I find, like that it just works out, it's just like, I should eat that last piece of cake. God wants me to eat that last piece of cake. I can't do anything. What can I do? I didn't make the world. I didn't even make the cake. But 3,000 years ago, God promised me that bit of cake. So,
God never promised me shit. That's the problem. That's why I don't believe in him.
I wish I was
If he promised
Jewish.
me something, I'd believe in him.
I feel ripped off. They took my foreskin and I didn't get to be a Jew. Like, how fucking brutal is that?
So weird, isn't it? How did they convince parents to do that to their children?
That's the most fucked up thing. Like, oh, we're still going to cut the end. Oh, I'm not a Christian anymore. Don't believe in that garbage. Okay. Still going to cut your dick, though. Ah, that
look,
totally fucking makes sense.
Cute and this baby's so cute and innocent, and look, it's so. Let's give it some cosmetic surgery, quick, immediately.
Isn't it weird that like they believe God made us perfect and whole, but he fucked up around the dick part. Like he didn't want to touch the dicks. He was like, this is gay, touching these. Oh fuck, Even when you get a dog, I mean, the first thing they say is you've got to get that dog fixed. I'm like, I didn't know it was broken. Like,
yeah, exactly. It seemed fine when it was rooting every other dog in the pound.
I thought it was born with balls. Surely it should keep its balls. No.
Yeah, I don't know.
Now my dog's trans.
Look.
Anyway.
Speaking of dogs. That the myth of the alpha male is strongly related to dogs. Did you know that?
I heard about this. I don't think I watched the whole video. Please explain.
I've got some queued up, but a lot of people, in fact, a lot of modern, like your Andrew Tate sort of red pill stuff is all very much based around masculinity and being an alpha male,
the
boss,
Tate,
the boss.
Alpha man.
What does Tate call it? I don't know. I can't remember. I haven't listened to Tate for a long time.
He's gay.
But apparently, it's all based on flawed, debunked research. There is no alpha male concept in humanity at all. We do not structure our society that way. And it was based originally on studies of wolves in captivity. And the guy that wrote the research paper originally, he watched all these wolves being aggressive and whatever, and fighting for dominance and so on. And then later on, he did more research and he realized that behavior only manifests in captivity. They were pissed off because they were taken from a whole bunch of different wolf packs and put together in one jail cell, essentially. And wouldn't you know it, when you put people in small spaces together with other people who are also pissed off,
Changes their
they
behavior.
tend to fight.
Wow.
Yeah, it changes their behavior.
That's
Yeah, I don't know
weird.
if you know anything about it, but that actually does happen.
So you're telling me that
he
when
wrote
I
this
go to
whole-
the zoo and I see a tiger in a cage, they don't normally do that? The monkeys?
Yeah, they don't.
That's not how they behave in
You
nature?
mean-
Fuck.
You mean the tigers don't pace like psychopaths because they're actually
Just up and down.
like so traumatized that they're trapped in the zoos.
That's disappointing.
It is very disappointing.
Well,
I'll share a bit of the
that is
of the
interesting.
video
Also, yeah, share a bit of the video
because
it's interesting because the little I mean I haven't studied it, but I've seen things about the way wolf packs operate in nature. Like they have a very cooperative, but there is a thing about like one of them becomes the leader. The leader actually walks behind everyone. So how do they pick a leader?
There's not. No, that's not true. There's a breeding couple who tend to be pack leaders. So they're the mummy and daddy basically of the pack. The pack is a family. It's not like a group of wolves.
Okay, but I've seen this I've seen like there's shows about how monkeys get along, and they're like the one like they fight for dominance. Like how does
No, they don't.
Monkeys
They
do.
don't. That's he covers that in the video as well. I don't know if I've got anything queued up that talks about that, but he said anytime you debunk the wolf mythology strongly enough, someone will bring up chimps, and they're wrong about that too. And he just goes, it's a really good comprehensive video. It's just too long. It's 30 minutes, so it's too long for us to play here. But I find it very convincing. And look, I don't know. I haven't gone and looked at every line of research that he's talking about or whatever. But to be honest, it does resonate with me in a lot of ways because I've never really been interested in being an alpha male, and I've always been pretty skeptical of those guys who, get up on a stage and say, find your inner rage and boil over with testosterone.
Actually,
I don't believe that is actually productive for society. Cooperation is productive, not competition.
Okay, quite yeah. For
and
society.
We live in this world where people think that competition is the thing that drives everybody to do anything. I don't believe that at all. I think people do things all the time that's got nothing to do with trying to one up another person or win something or get a promotion.
Absolutely, people. I played a part of a speech from the Austrian painter the other night. And he talked about like the more masculine a man is and the more feminine, that you strike this balance. But the more masculine a man is, the more he will influence his sphere. The wider his sphere of influence will be, and the more persuasive he will be. I don't know. It's
yeah, but what is masculinity? I mean, that's a definition that I think is. I mean, it changes over time as well. But
another aspect
at the moment, like this idea, if you can't really say masculinity without putting the word toxic in front of it, it's got a pretty negative connotation.
But that's the other thing,
and I don't think it is negative necessarily.
But I think masculinity, the art of being masculine or the nature of being masculine has been very much lost. Like I've known a lot of guys who think that being masculine and being the dominant male in the group is basically being a fucking prick and being louder than everyone, and like it's this warped version of how to, and they kind of tend to dominate things in the group, but not because of their masculinity. It's not because they have high testosterone. It's because they've learned to be a cunt. Like that's all it is. Yeah. Interesting.
And they're too lazy to actually win people's respect.
Yeah,
legitimately.
Well, it's interesting. They did a study.
So they fall back on violence and bullying and aggressive tactics. I think it's a sign of weakness, personally, and insecurity.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
To use those sorts of tactics to get what you want. I mean, it makes no sense to me. Anyway, this is something that I hadn't heard before I watched this video. But I'd always felt like there was something wrong with this theory of, be the alpha male. Like not everyone can be the alpha male anyway, right? Like that means if there's an alpha male, then there's got to be what, like, another 90% of the population who need to be beaters or whatever else.
Yeah, I'm always
but
getting.
none of those terms are real.
Beaters coming up to me and challenging me to be top dog, but they can't.
The only good beater is a wife beater.
That's a good joke.
That came out wrong. Hang on a sec.
No, that's a good joke. We like our beer like we like our violence. Domestic. There's an interesting study done recently where they gave testosterone to some animal that was like lower in the chain. And what they found, which was very interesting, was the animal that they gave the testosterone to wasn't starting fights. It was the other ones underneath them, the ones that they kind of replaced in the chain. So there is a hierarchy to this. I think there's absolutely a hierarchy to all these things. I don't know how you access. I've never known how you access that hierarchy and, win out. But a lot of it is genetic. I mean, there are genetic traits that will put you on top of a social ladder. So are you saying that there's a separation between social dynamics and alpha, the whole idea of alpha?
Yeah. That's basically the idea of alpha is completely invalid and completely debunked by science. Okay. It doesn't exist. There is no alpha. This behavior doesn't exist in nature, and it doesn't exist in humanity.
Okay.
And I know it seems like it does. You believe it. You're brought up. Like, think about how indoctrinated we are into the idea of it. It's in every Hollywood movie. He goes through it. This guy is called the Pop Culture Detective, right? He's a movie channel who writes video essays.
I got to say,
I'm
a little skeptical just because I know how much of an attack there is, and I know how much science has been corrupted and co-opted. So I'm a little skeptical, but proceed, please.
But it also is causing you a lot of cognitive dissonance, right? And it did for me too. When I first watched it, I was like, this has got to be bullshit. But then, let's watch a bit of the video, because I think that's at least will show you what I found fairly convincing, and we'll see if it convinces you a little bit as well.
Okay.
But I mean, at least it'll intrigue you to watch the
whole thing,
the entire video at some point as well. So, all right, the myth of the alpha male.
That the myth of the alpha male has been thoroughly debunked. The term alpha male dates back to studies of wolves in zoos from the 1940s and 50s. But the concept didn't really take off in the public imagination until a few decades later, when biologist David Misch published a book entitled The Wolf. It quickly became a bestseller, but the underlying research was deeply flawed. Those old studies of wolves in captive environments seemed to show males viciously competing for dominance until one took over as leader and the others submitted to his rule. Researchers at the time dubbed the most aggressive wolf the alpha male,
beast of the wild,
and mistakenly concluded that fighting for dominance must be natural wolf pack behavior. Turns out they were wrong. Wolves living in the wild don't employ dominance-based hierarchies, and they don't engage in a vicious competition that dominate other members of their own group. Wolf packs in the wild are actually family units.
No.
Pack leaders are just parents raising their offspring. Researchers now refer to them as the breeding pair. Wolves are, of course, a predator species, but they're also remarkably loving and playful creatures within packs. It's only within the unnatural environment of captivity, where a bunch of animals from unrelated packs are forced into close proximity, that we see unnaturally aggressive behaviors emerge. A similar phenomenon occurs with human beings when trapped inside of prison environments.
So, I mean, you get the idea. He's making that point there.
Okay.
He does go on to, like, it's too long to play, but he does go on to talk more specifically about what the real behaviors are and so on, and especially breaking down how human behavior has evolved and is structured. But the thing that strikes me, I think human behavior has evolved. I mean, I think human behavior used to be more aggressive and more primal. Well, of course it was. Primal actually means it means behaving like a primate, I assume, right? So of course it means de-evolved, right? So
Okay.
if primal behavior is de-evolved, then doesn't that mean the direction of evolution of humanity is towards cooperation and civility and less violence and less aggression? I mean, doesn't it
Well,
seem like it can't be the other way? Are we really evolving to become more aggressive? Did we
no,
not
but
get where we got to technologically by cooperation?
we're being steered as well to some degree. Like,
Yeah.
like this whole movement of masculinity being discouraged is part of us being steered into this, and there is a natural fight back against that. So I don't know. I'll have to watch the whole video and.
Do you want to do another clip quickly?
Go on.
I had this queued up. I can't remember exactly why I queued it up. But,
Is that Hitler?
I must have done it for a
I'm
reason.
all about Hitler.
It's Hitler. I thought you'd like that.
Love
Yeah.
it. Let's hear from Hitler.
It's nature. Males are forced to fight, to dominate, and to impregnate all females.
Since this worldview elevates men's ability and willingness to dominate others, it's not surprising that conservatives, neo-reactionaries, fascists, and authoritarians of all stripes embrace the alpha-beta myth so completely, as it seems to add legitimacy to their pre-existing chauvinist and supremacist ideologies.
Yeah,
Today-
she's losing me.
You become a man.
And here's where all of this gets very dangerous very quickly.
Yeah, that's why I queued this
Underneath
up.
all the bluster and doublespeak, imposing a strict dominance hierarchy on society is the ultimate goal of all right-wing movements.
Are we the baddies?
In a reactionary worldview, men are taught to see themselves as carnivorous predators. The wolf is a curious choice for an avatar of masculinity, because wolves have been consistently demonized in popular culture.
Wolves?
It's ironic that special effects must be employed to make these animals appear much more aggressive than they actually are.
The wolves are actually incredibly friendly. So we put the dots in sort of specific points on their face. So then later on, our visual effects vendor can use the dots to track in CG wolf face and making them look mean.
Okay, but that's a particular group of trained acting wolves. Just because they're friendly, I wouldn't
No, I
want
mean,
to
obviously there's
have
the
a
other
real
studies where wolves are
wild
nature.
animal chasing me through a fucking subway and just go, no, he's actually really friendly. Like I wouldn't stop to
wolves
pet
are
him.
predators. They're carnivorous. They kill
Yeah.
and eat other animals.
I don't
So
know,
I wouldn't go near a wolf necessarily.
I'm,
Doesn't just because they're not friendly doesn't mean that they live in a dominance hierarchy though.
I don't know. I'm
It's about the structure of their society, not ours or anyone else's.
like I'm getting I kind of get the
So
whole alpha thing. It's just a way of explaining certain behaviors and why certain people have more influence than others, and why certain people are naturally leaders. I mean, for myself, I'm like, I can lead, and I have led many times. I've been leader in many situations, but I'm the last person to put myself up as leader first. But that's more about my level of confidence in any given situation.
Well, that's exactly what his argument is, that this concept that there are alphas and betas means that people who are willing to come out and bully others and whatever, maybe they're somewhat sociopathic or narcissistic, they're the ones that we defer to as, probably more empathetic creatures.
Yeah.
And it lowers our confidence to make us think we're betas. There's nothing we can do about this. We can't be leaders. We can't do anything. You can't have power.
Well, yeah.
But my journey in life hasn't been that. I started very, very low confidence, and now I don't give a shit. And I know everybody says, "Oh, I don't give a shit about anyone else's opinion," and it's a bit of a cliche. But I feel like for me, that's been the journey, is just to realize that
I think that
I
is
am whatever I am, and there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, no, I think that is the journey. There's an example I use of this where the asshole gets ahead. I remember being out, when I was a kid, walking out. We walked out into the desert around town, and we got lost. We couldn't find our way back. And I knew the way back, and I kept saying, no, it's that way, it's that way, it's that way. And my brother just kept saying, we're going this way. And everyone's just like, all right, because he was louder, he was older. And I was just like, I ended up just going, well, I'm going this way. So see you later. I made it back to town, and I had to get people to go out and collect them. And it was like, yeah, they were headed in that fucking like, and it was just, that was a real lesson for me. Like, because I've been thinking about this a lot recently. I disengaged from people very early on in life. Like, I learned that people were dangerous, that people were, like, I know, like, people are good and people are all these wonderful things, but I learned about the negative side of people very early on. And the strong-headedness of assholes who just cannot ever admit when they're wrong. Like, they would rather literally die in a fucking desert than admit they're wrong. Like, it's very weird. And so that caused me to disengage.
You know what's weird about you, and I think
groups and whatnot. Go on.
Not to blow your trumpet, but I think what's exceptional about you, and I don't mean exceptional as in very, very good, but also that, but more as you're an exception, is that even though you grew up with all of those beliefs and proofs in your life that everything was dangerous and that life was a competition, you didn't actually become an asshole.
Yeah, no,
it's amazing.
I did.
I still can't explain you.
I particularly didn't like those people early. Like, I hated them so much. I was like, well, I'm not going to become them. I can't really explain it either. I did hear what's their name? The MDE TV boys were talking about it, and they said the son of an arsehole is always a good guy. And I thought, oh, maybe there's something to that. I don't know what that is, but it's not 100% true, because
it's a cool expression. I'm not sure if it makes any sense.
It's not actually. Yeah, it has a lot of flaws, but it's an interesting. But yeah, I know you've said that before, and I appreciate you saying it, because that actually, because I'm never sure whether I'm doing the right thing or whatever, but that does give me it gives me some confidence, because I just absolutely rejected that. I was like, I hate being around those people. I don't want to be around those people. So I just went in the other
funny,
direction.
the Hangover movies, and they go on about the wolf pack.
Yeah.
And in a lot of ways, it's sort of pushing this narrative about the wolf being aggressive. But actually, the wolf pack in that movie is actually like a real wolf pack. They're cooperative, they're friendly, they're not jostling for power or dominance.
Yeah.
They're actually, when he says we're the wolf, it's actually like a real wolf pack, which is very different. This video, it's got so many clips from Hollywood movies reinforcing the stereotype of the alpha male or the alpha wolf, or like there's even in zombie movies, they've done zombie movies where there's an alpha zombie. It's just ridiculous how often and it's not scientifically sound. Well, let's assume for the sake of the argument that it's not scientifically sound. I can't tell you for sure that it's not, but I see aspects of human behavior where aggression is rewarded, and it seems, but maybe that's part of the myth. Maybe that belief that I have is what the myth is creating.
Interestingly, sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, nice guys finish last, right? Like, what sort of an expression is that?
It is very much like, you do in the world, you do need to, like, it's why I'm terrible at sales. Like, I see other people, getting ahead with sales. I'm terrible at, because I'll go and I'll talk to it. I'll even go back a couple of times, but if they give me that thing, it's like, oh, we don't want it. I'm just like, all right, well, I'm not going to, I'm not going to stand here and force you into buying something that you don't want. Like, but in order to get ahead at sales, you have to do that. You really, there is a big part of life where you are constantly having to cheat people out of things, in a sense, trick people out of things, because you want the thing that they've got. It's just, I don't know. It's just I mean, entire.
But that's based on the scarcity of the thing that you want, right? Like if it was abundant, there wouldn't be an
No,
issue.
but not
And
necessarily. It's
you know,
like
we've talked about that before, but
I went to JB Hi-Fi the other day, and I walked in. I just happened to be near it, so I thought I'll go and look at what they've got. And I went in, and I was like, okay, I don't ever want to shop here. Like, but they do very well. They're a very big outlet, but everything about
I love
them,
JB Hi-Fi.
really, I fucking
I
hate
just
them.
order online.
I fucking despise. I do not ever want to shop there again. Dad wanted a security system. I bought him a security system. Turns out it's fucking shit. I mean, it's good. It does what it's, but there's all these things.
You mean you went there not knowing what you wanted to buy?
Yeah, no, I didn't. I just
I don't do that.
It probably wasn't the best way to go about it, but
no.
I did.
Well,
I also
JB
didn't
Hi-Fi
much
salesmen
care, but-
are motivated by they get different commissions for different
Yeah.
products. It's nothing to do with what's better.
Yeah,
I worked at Harvey Norman briefly for 2 weeks before I got fired because I also am not a good salesperson. And it was the same thing. Like they had a code that you could look on the barcode and you could see what the actual price, the cost price of the product was. So you knew how much you could discount. It was crazy how much their markups were. Like you could discount. You could take 50% off almost anything in that store, and it was they were still making money.
Still making money on 50.
And yeah. But then they would tell you, well, we want to sell more of this product. We've got too much stock or whatever. And you just say, yeah, that's the best printer for sure. That is the one that you want.
Yeah.
Does everything you need.
Yeah.
And that's why I couldn't do it. I wasn't selling anything. And the things I, did sell, it was someone who came in and goes, I want this particular printer. And I go, it's in that box there.
Yeah.
I'll get it for you.
Yeah.
And that was it. That was the sale.
Yeah.
That was the only way I could do it. But I also disagree to some extent that the best salesmen are manipulative liars. I think manipulative liars work for some people.
Oh yeah, it's not.
But the best salespeople I've worked in the big business world, working for Fortune 500 companies around the world and whatever. And the best salespeople are the ones who genuinely match the features of the product that they're selling to the needs and desires of the people they're selling to. Like genuinely just do it.
Yeah.
Naturally, they just find those synergies. They're really good at it.
Yeah.
And it's to do with seeing connections and stuff, and actually caring about people, like getting to know people and understanding them and having a curiosity. So I think the very best salespeople are actually quite ethical about what they do.
I'd hope so.
They do well because they're finding the right customer for the right product and they're recommending the right things.
Yeah.
You can't do that if you're in JB Hi-Fi. Yeah, you won't make any money.
Yeah, no. Well, that was the thing. I think, it wasn't until I got it all home, got it all set up and everything that I was like, these are the things that can't do, which I specifically asked for them to be able to do. He was just going, this is the one you want. This is perfect for you. And I was stupid. I believed him. So that it's my own fault, but it just is later on I went across the road to JCar for something else, and it was like I'd been to JB Hi-Fi and I'd seen the prices, and I was like, I know I can get this stuff cheaper elsewhere. And the guys at JCar were just straight away. They were like, "This is what you need. This is what I use. I use this.
That's why you go to JCar.
Bam.
You get the advice, and then you go buy it at JB.
But the one in Mildura anyway, they are so fucking expensive. It's unbelievable. They wanted $400 for a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse. I was like,
what?
You're fucking kidding
me.
What did
it? Was it gold plated or something?
I think it gave me a blowjob while I'm setting it up or something. I don't know. It had to. It fucking just unbelievable. Just like, what is this thing? It's ridiculous. So I don't know. It just pissed me off. We are sponsored, by the way, by JB Hi-Fi. This podcast brought to you by JB Hi-Fi.
Every salesman guaranteed to be an alpha male.
Yeah, an alpha.
They actually are. I mean, when I lived in Melbourne in the city, I had through a friend of a friend, I had a contact in JB Hi-Fi who was one of the managers, and he just gave us everything at cost plus 8%, I think it was, or something like that. It was cost plus something.
Okay.
And he'd just show us the books. He'd just say, this is what we've got. This is cost. You can have it for that plus 8% anytime you want, anything you want. And I was like, cool. I'll just go there and I'll ask for, I can't remember his name, Adam, I think it was. And Adam would just hook me up every time. But I'd have to know what I was going to buy. Like, I would never walk into a store not knowing more than all of the salespeople in the store about what I wanted to buy. Like, that's a dangerous situation. Of course, they can lie to you if you don't know what you want.
It's like that.
I do all my research online. I know exactly what I'm buying. There's no,
It's like that thing.
The decision is already made.
I'll listen to the salesman. He knows. Yeah. Yeah, no, it was silly. I really didn't care. Because I also kind of knew what was going to happen after. Dad would be like, fucking turn it off. Just be like, why did I waste the money? So I wasn't going to spend a lot of time on it. But, yeah, no, it's just, the thing I guess that frustrates me as well is, like, I remember in The Wire, there's a scene where one of the main characters is just like, it doesn't have to be this way, you know, like people getting killed and people getting stomped. It does, you know, there's enough for everyone. We don't have to be this violent fucking madness. We don't have to be shooting people. And the others were just like, but that's the game. That's the game, you know. And he was like, yeah, but it doesn't have to be. And I guess I'm caught up in that fallacy of it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. But it's the game, and the game is make as much money as you can, make more money than the other guy. It pisses me off because JB Hi-Fi, being a corporate chain, could easily, you know, do better deals, make, you know, better prices, better deals, all this kind of stuff. But because they're inflating their prices so much, and all these Harvey Normans and that stuff, so then you get these smaller stores that haven't got a fucking chance. Because the smaller stores don't even have the buying power. So then the smaller stores are like relying on people's, you know, good net to be like, I want to support a local store. But then you try and support the local store, and it's like, I can't afford to support the local store. But then even when you go to
people generally don't.
Yeah, even when you go to these other stores, it's just. Yeah, it's just frustration with the corporate thing. It's the monopoly game, and the monopoly game is coming to an end. However, inflation is going to keep the monopoly game going, and the printing of fake fiat money is going to keep the game going for a lot longer than it should. But actually,
people cotton onto the scam.
Well, something else. Well,
actually, I've got something really relevant to that. Go on, but I'll cue it up while you're.
Well, I wanted to ask you what happens when the last of Bitcoin is mined, because who's going to run the once all the Bitcoin is mined, the people who are mining it, then they can only receive payment from the fees and the transfer fees, like all the money. Once it's all mined, a lot of the money is going to disappear from it because you're no longer getting paid in new Bitcoin.
So you can still run a node, right? And you get two things. You can just run a node, and all you get is transaction fees, or you can run a mine, in which case you get the mining rewards, right? And the mining rewards are way more at the moment.
But that's what I mean.
But I think at the end of the day, you just need the nodes, right? Once everything's mined, there's no more mining. It's over. There's no more rewards. That's done with.
Okay. They'll be
so
able to
all of the mines shut down. They're done.
Yeah.
And they probably won't necessarily become nodes unless the transaction fees are worth it for them. They might be, but the transaction fees are like, you don't want them to get too high anyway. You know, if the transaction fees go high, then moving money around's too expensive, and no one wants that.
This is just what I'm
it'll be
worried about.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I don't really know, and we don't need to worry about it. It's still a long time away. But I think I would be surprised if whoever invented Bitcoin, who's got it as far as it went by predicting the speed that it should roll out and when the halvings should happen and all of that stuff, like the algorithm that rolled out perfectly in the world to reach, I guess today it's 112,000 or something, whatever it is, US dollars per coin after starting at zero. Whoever worked this out has some sort of either can see the future or has some sort of prescience or mathematical modeling ability that's beyond what what most people have. I have no idea. It couldn't be luck because there wasn't another one.
Yeah.
Right. It was just that he just went, Satoshi, whoever that is, just went, righto, we're rolling out Bitcoin now.
Yeah.
He did it, and he disappeared, and then boom, we have this perfect monetary system. Now, I mean, you could even say it's somehow a force of nature, and that's why, that, like, I keep saying to people, like, whenever something amazing happens, right? Something incredible, something so against the odds that it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I used to go, wow, that is amazing. How did that happen? That it must have been a miracle. And now I just say that must have had to have happened. It needed to happen, right? Like something in the world, the movement of energy around the universe needed this piece of energy to move over here. And that's why Bitcoin is part of our story now, or whatever it is, right? Like whatever if Jesus rose from the dead, well, we know people can't rise from the dead, most of us, right? So if Jesus did, then I guess he had to, because it wrote the rest of the story that got us here, with Christianity and everything else. All the things that, I mean, the significance of that exact miracle is, unfathomable, right?
Yeah.
It's obviously so. It's the same thing with Bitcoin. I just go, I guess it has to exist, because the path we're going down with fiat currency is unsustainable. We know that it leads to escalating wars, and it leads to poverty, it leads to unemployment, it leads to all of these things, hyperinflation, and the poor people are the ones that suffer. So I guess Bitcoin has to exist, because otherwise we're gone already. Like there's nothing. So yeah, I don't know. But my answer is because it has to. And at the end of Bitcoin, when it's all mined, it'll survive because it has to.
Yeah.
And to some extent, that's faith. This is my faith. It's just done so much amazing stuff. I just can't imagine what could possibly derail it now.
I suppose the answer to the question is that we are currently in the Bitcoin gold rush era, and it will top out.
But I mean, it slows down a lot.
When it's all mined, I'm guessing that it will, I don't know, I guess it will have to top out at some point. But for now, it's still worth buying anyway. Hey, Sandy, how you doing?
It doesn't need to top
say
out.
Hello to Sandy.
Hey, Sandy, how you going?
Yeah, so I don't know. Just that question was raised the other night, and I started thinking, and yeah, I know that once it goes to merely the transaction fees, will the transaction fees go up? Will it become...
Oh, they must. Yeah, I think they will. Yeah, the transaction fees are basically zero at the moment. I mean, there's the exchanges that you move Bitcoin around on decide what your fees are going to be. So you don't get control over it. But basically, you can set your fee at anything you want. It's a voluntary fee, right? So you can say, okay, I'm going to give you 5 cents for that transaction.
Okay.
That's okay. But if someone offers 10 cents for their transaction, it goes first, right? That's all.
Yeah.
So if you do a 5 cent transaction, maybe it takes an hour, maybe it takes 2 hours, maybe it takes 3 days, right? Like you don't know how long it's going to take.
Right.
So there's like a market sort of rate that the exchanges set to say that you'll get your transaction done in 10 to 15 minutes or whatever it's going to be.
Okay.
Assuming you set your fee to this. But I don't know where they get that fee from, and I think they keep it. I think they just make money from it. Personally, I think it's bullshit. Some of them are quite high, actually, and it's like, why would it be the same every time? Like, shouldn't it depend on whether the network's busy or not busy, or, how many other transactions are competing for? And it should, and yet it's a fixed fee. So I think, the crypto exchanges are crooks. They're all crooks. So,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
100%. I just wouldn't want to use them if I didn't have to, but that's the only way to buy Bitcoin at the moment.
I'm holding,
although that's not necessarily the case either, but yeah.
I'm holding exclusively Trump and Melania coin. That's all I care about. I'm to the moon. Trump to the moon. That's what I say.
How could it possibly ever crash?
It can't. Not with Donald Trump behind it. Trust the plan, bro.
Watch this. This is, well, I won't even tell you what it is. Tell me what, it'll reveal itself.
Well, it
like
says
did to me.
everything's fine.
Yeah.
We ain't got no troubles, no reason to complain. Cause here in Great Old Britain, we just love it when it rains. Morning. We're cozy here at home, even though it's not our own. But wait a few more years and who can say? Everything is just fine. Everything is grand. Your life can get no better when you're living by the letter in this pleasant land. Everything is just fine. Everything is great. The streets can't get no cleaner, nor the rat meat any leaner. No, life is just first rate.
Everything is just fine.
These fish fingers are a steal.
Prices up a smidge.
Just £100 a meal.
Empty purse, but hey, could be worse if there was nothing in the fridge.
Strategic realignment means I get to work for myself. Yeah!
Paying off my law degree with tips from each delivery. Excuse me, sir, I have your tandoori. Everything is just fine. Everything is grand. Your life can get no better when you're living by the letter in this pleasant land. Everything is just fine. Everything is great. We're soldiering on. We're doing our best.
We're off to Dubai. It's time to jump ship.
We're tightening our belts with a stiff upper lip. 'Cause everything's just fine.
Coin, but oh, fuck off. That's very good.
Isn't that like the best advertising that you've seen since Sydney Sweeney?
That's fucking great. That well done, Coinbase.
I love it.
Fuck.
I love it.
That's very good.
And you notice they never mention anything about crypto.
Yeah.
It's just beautiful. It's just saying, you know how stupid this is what you're doing right now.
Yep.
If everything's fine,
Don't change anything. Yeah. Fuck. That's great.
I love it.
Wow.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And it even convinces me, and I was already convinced. I was like, yeah, you're right. It's just ridiculous. And there's so much more you could put in there, you know, like price of houses and, you know, I mean, I guess they all sort of get fired and evicted and whatever, but
yeah,
they do. But I just feel like the lyrics don't hit as much as I think you could have put some more lyrics in there.
Yeah.
Other than the price of fish fingers and things like that. But anyway, it's so good. I'm not going to criticize it. I don't know how you would improve it. But
no,
yeah.
that was very good. That was very smart.
I feel like you could show that to people who just don't get the crypto argument and just say, okay, well, obviously everything you're doing is perfect already, so just keep doing it. It's all fine.
I did all the way through it. I was going, what the fuck? What is this? What's it for?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it has to reveal itself at the end. That's why I didn't want to say too much about it at the start to set it up, because to me it was the same. I was like, what is this? And I saw it was just said everything's fine. I didn't know what it was. It was just recommended after something else that I watched.
Yeah.
And then, when I clicked on it, I was like, what is this? It's like a Monty Python sketch or something.
That's what I thought at
But
first.
it's not quite as funny.
It was reminding me of Every Sperm is Sacred and consider yourself.
The meaning of life.
I mean, that's the musical thing.
Yeah. Well, it is. Is it the same music? It's very similar, isn't it?
It's very similar to Consider Yourself at Home, and
that's
Every
what it
Sperm
is.
Sacred.
Yeah, what is that? Annie Hall, right?
Annie, not Annie Hall.
Oh no, Annie.
Yeah.
Annie Hall's the pedophile.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if Annie was a pedophile, but yeah. Did you just switch over?
I don't think Annie was. Did I switch over?
Oh, thanks, Sandy. No, Sandy just switched over from X to YouTube. Thanks, hon. I can't see you at the moment, but anyway, I do think, like, even Axel talks about the Bitcoin basically kind of fighting back.
Yeah.
I own a few altcoins, some that I'm just like so pissed off that I ever bought. But I was, getting advice off a YouTube crypto expert he's still going strong. I was just like,
yeah, look,
I thought,
you can lose a lot of money in crypto, obviously.
Yeah, well, I threw a couple of thousand at it.
Now, in theory.
Yeah. I'm still,
What is it now?
my biggest hold is XRP right now. And it popped up again. I was getting worried with XRP for a while, but it did pop up. I almost opted out of it recently when it popped up to like 5.9. I think it was. I was like, oh.
What price did you buy it at?
Around 4.5. So it's fluctuating.
Well, you've made some money though.
Yeah, I'm still holding it at the moment. It's gone back. It's gone back to like 4.5 now at the moment, I think. So
Yeah.
it's fluctuating, but I still think it's going to go up to around 8, hopefully soon. And that's based on absolutely nothing.
Yeah,
But
just a feeling.
it's the vibe. Yeah. No, I think it should pop up to hopefully it'll pop up to over 6. It'll break 6 soon. But
yeah, well, I mean, generally all the altcoins, although it's probably less true than it used to be, but they tend to just follow Bitcoin or whatever's happening. It's the same sentiments that drive altcoins that drives the price of Bitcoin.
I'm waiting for.
But I think Bitcoin's weird at the moment because it just dropped like 6K or something like that in the last 2 days, and then it's bouncing back a little bit now. But I mean, if you worry about that, like you're not thinking long term, right? Like
No.
the last Bitcoins I bought at like 75,000.
Yeah.
Right, which a while ago, 6 months ago or something, I don't know, whenever it was. But when you really think it, like how much it's gained since then, it's crazy.
Oh, look, I
So
always
even
say,
if it dropped below 100,000, it wouldn't bother me at all.
well, Warren Buffett said time in the market beats timing the market, because you can never really time the market, but the longer you're in it, the more you're going to make. My theory with Bitcoin, which I'm going to flip over to Bitcoin as soon as I leave all the XRP and everything behind. I'm just going to focus on Bitcoin and just be putting even if I put $1,000
Why don't you just stop it all in now? If it's
well, no, it's right now.
Anytime Bitcoin
now I'd be losing
6K
money
or something.
Now I'd be losing money.
You
I've
lose
kind of
money
been
because
waiting.
You'd gain it again in Bitcoin.
Yeah, but I've got a little bit of money sitting there, just waiting for. I'm just waiting for, because I know Bitcoin will drop again. I believe it will drop a bit more, and then I'll just start doing a regular kind of monthly buy or something like that. Just make a regular and just buy.
From my understanding, most of the indicators are Bitcoin's about to explode, and this will be the cheapest it's going to be for a while. I think it might dip a bit lower, but I wouldn't bank on that. Like I wouldn't set my buy-in to be like 105,000 or something. I don't think it'll go that low.
Yeah.
Before it, but when it goes, it'll go. It's a wound up coil right now.
Yeah. Well,
it's going to like 250,000 or something.
The Filthy Gypsy is saying that Jizzcoin is now the thing. It's the new thing. I think Jizzcoin is the one that we talked about a while ago.
Yeah.
I think Jizzcoin Jizzcoin is the one. Imagine the ads.
Jizzcoin's the only other legitimate, because it's backed by Jizz.
Yeah. It's a Jizz-backed coin. How can you go wrong? And the ads just coins flying out of a giant dick. Everyone will want it. Yeah.
Absolutely. And
just
I mean, look, if you have to cash the coin
in the face
at any time, you can cash that coin in for Jizz and create a human life.
Exactly.
So all you need to do is find a female egg, and I mean, it depends how desperate the world has become, but I mean, you could just flick a bit of jizz in the right direction, and you'll be able to create human life.
Well, imagine being able to buy a cryptocurrency with jizz. Teenagers will be the new millionaires.
I'm producing jizz all the time, even involuntarily. So
there you
go. Boy, I wish I could trade it for crypto.
My underpants.
And Jizzcoin's the only one you can.
My underpants are a gold mine. Anyway, let's what else? So what's going on with aliens these days? We got any aliens?
Yeah. I think I know what story you're talking about. The
You'll be loaded. Filthy Gypsy says you'll be loaded.
Well, I'm loaded right now, but I'll be loaded financially as well. That's right. Yeah, it's
That's very
it does lend itself to a lot of good puns, actually, doesn't it?
Does,
It's, yeah.
I think we
We
should
really
start.
probably it's
we
probably
should
the
start
best meme
Jizzcoin.
coin.
Yeah, we should definitely start.
There
Jizzcoin.
was one,
and tell people to hold. It's the long hold.
At Jizzcoin, we believe in Tantra. Just hold.
Yeah,
Always hold.
Don't shoot your load just yet.
Yeah. So, do you remember though when we were doing? I think it was even back in the Piss Dungeon days. We found that coin called Cummies.
Cummies.
That was started by that. Yeah, that OnlyFans girl started a coin. They were called Cummies. And yeah, it was. Actually, I wonder what a cummy is worth these days, because that's our main competitor to the Jizz coin, isn't it?
I've got some Norm
Cummies.
coin somewhere in a wallet that I can't remember where it is, or if Norm
Cum Rocket.
coin.
Yeah,
Cum
here we go.
Rocket.
It
That's
still
right.
it still exists. So a cummy is now worth $0.002809 US.
Wow. Time to get
Not
in.
much. I wonder. Yeah, it never even got to like 1 cent. Sadly, I guess that didn't quite work. It's actually recently peaked a little bit. Let's have a look at the all time. So its highest, its all time high was 16 US cents.
You're kidding.
And that was back in 2021. Yeah, it hit 16 US cents. And then it just pretty quickly crashed down within 6 months to basically zero forever. That's a shame. Because I remember that girl, she had very large breasts.
Yeah.
And, I was pulling for her. I was definitely pulling for her.
Filthy Gypsy says, I've been storing my Jizz coin in a sock since 2006. Basically, I'm set for life. Wouldn't that be great if we made Jizz coin and the wallet was a sock, and you just fill
Yeah,
your
the wallet's a
sock
sock.
wallet, your sock wallet just with Jizz coin. It is the ultimate fucking yeah. It's the ultimate meme coin.
Every coin comes with a free bottle of hand lotion.
Baby oil. We'll get Diddy to
Baby oil.
We'll get Diddy on it. We'll get Diddy to back it. It comes with baby oil.
Honestly, I don't like the texture of baby oil personally. That just doesn't work for me.
Mm. Oh man.
Needs to have aloe in it.
Yeah, well then it repairs your
I'm
skin.
very sad that the cummies didn't work.
Oh well.
Anyway, we're going to talk about aliens. Let's do the alien
rocket
topic. So people may have already heard this. I hope they have, because it's extremely important. But there is a object hurtling towards Earth from space at the moment, and a recent study claims it's an alien spacecraft coming to attack us.
Did you just on a side note, did you hear the story about the Mexican guy who was flying his plane and he thought he fell asleep? He lost control of the plane, woke up, came to like an hour or 2 hours later, and he was flying over the ocean. There's no way he should have been there. He had more fuel than he should have had. But the whole time he was out, there was some entity speaking through him, and it said it was an alien.
Oh, yeah.
And it was saying that...
What was that? That was on Joe Rogan or something.
Yeah.
I saw something like that.
Well, it was a Mr. Ballin
Yeah.
story, but yeah, they they talked about it on Joe Rogan. The funny thing
I
about
mean, I think anybody who falls asleep flying a plane is definitely a credible witness, and we should take everything they say pretty
especially
seriously.
Mexicans. So
Yeah,
they
and
yeah,
Mexicans.
but they want us. The aliens want us to disarm. So I think we're being invaded by space Democrats. I think they're
right.
like, you need to put down your weapons, bro.
Yeah, well, that is the narrative, that the aliens just want to stop us from blowing ourselves up. But yeah, what was it? The alien said that it was concerned that we're the only species in the entire universe
that's what
that
I
still
mean.
Fights wars.
I find that a little
I find that hard to believe.
Hard to believe. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's
The universe
space
is a big
Democrats.
place.
Yeah.
You know what it is? It's the myth of the alpha male. The other planets don't have that, so
Yeah.
that's why they don't fight each other.
What if it turned out
I just thought the way this was that we were what?
That we were the only species in the fucking galaxy, in the entire universe.
Look, to be honest, I'm already embarrassed about it. The fact that we were at all. So yeah, I mean, I'd be even super embarrassed.
But it
if
also
we're the only
means
ones.
it also means that eventually we'll take over the entire fucking universe. Well,
yeah, that's true.
Well, the Jews will take over the entire universe, but I'm pretty sure they already run it. So, you know.
We also have mind control technology, so we could be like the Borg eventually.
Yeah.
We just keep developing MK Ultra and Project Monarch.
What's odd about it is that the alien said something along the line, like they might have been saying you're going to kill yourselves, but there was this kind of underlying threat to it. Like, if you don't put away the nukes, we're going to wipe you out. So it's like, we don't have weapons, but we have the ability to wipe you out. So it's like, well, which is it, dude? So I don't know. I don't know what the full story is, but yeah.
Yeah, we don't believe in war, but if we did, we would win one against you.
Kick your fucking asses.
Yeah.
So
it didn't. It sparked my imagination as an interesting idea, but it didn't strike me as particularly credible, to be honest.
Okay, so you don't reckon this is them?
I don't think this is them.
Does it say anything about like that the spacecraft looks like a giant taco? Any relation to Mexicans? Is a giant taco coming from outer space, coming to blow us the fuck up?
So let's have a look at the coverage of this, right? I've got two articles that are covered exactly the same story in two different ways.
Great, but
I just want to point out the differences.
But just so you know, your yellow highlight on the on OBS recognizes it as green screen. So
right.
When you're highlighting things,
maybe I can change the color. How about that? Is that better?
That's perfect. Yes, that's brilliant.
I think I've used green for almost everything though, so I'll have to change them one by one. So so this is saying that it was a research paper written by a prominent Harvard. We like Harvard; they're smart people. Astrophysicist claims that there's a spacecraft that may attack Earth in just months.
Months.
So this is quite a concern.
Oh, that looks like.
How's that? Does that?
Yeah, that's good. No, that's good.
That survives.
The size of
a mysterious
Manhattan.
object the size of Manhattan. So it's very large. It's very large.
Yeah.
Could be a hostile alien spaceship and may attack Earth in November.
November?
That'll ruin my birthday.
I've got stuff on. Yeah, it's your birthday.
Yeah, exactly.
In November.
I'm busy.
What the hell?
Busy. So we can't have that.
Fucking aliens.
The object will be it'll be hidden from Earth's view, allowing it to carry out a secret high-speed maneuver to slow down and stay in the solar system to secretly prepare for an attack.
I'm believing
this
already.
This is a credible threat, right?
Yep.
Yeah, this is a credible threat.
Yep.
It must be.
Well,
and
we
there's
need to
pictures
send
of space.
someone money. Actually, I think we need to get on this immediately and tell them that we can solve this and they need to send us money.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to be probed by aliens?
You get down pretty, you have quite a lot of alarmist stuff. And then eventually it starts talking about the author of the paper or one of the authors of the paper.
Harvey Loeb.
Who is Harvey Loeb.
All right.
A prominent Harvard astrophysicist.
I'm out.
known for his provocative research, provocative, okay, and outspoken views in the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. He gained attention for suggesting that the 2017 interstellar object, whatever that is, might be an artificial probe created by, it must be that, right? Might be an artificial probe created by an alien. So he's claimed this before. In fact, like the last object.
Yeah, right.
He said this, and it never really gets there, but it starts to fall apart a little bit. So
yeah,
I started reading about this A.V. Loeb or whatever his name is. Do you know the name seriously, or?
Well, I just recognize where it's from.
Where's it from?
Sounds a little. I imagine he wrote the paper like this. He was doing that a lot.
I see what you're saying. Fair enough. So I found this article. Harvard paper explores possibility that object approaching from beyond solar system is hostile alien technology. Okay, this is a bit alarmist, right? They stuck with it, but it does say that in the paper.
Okay.
There's a chance it's not a benign asteroid or comet. So you can see even the language, benign asteroid or comet, it's very calming, even just to consider that.
Yeah.
Yet to be peer-reviewed paper, never mentioned in the other article at all that it's not peer-reviewed. In fact, it was just published a couple of weeks ago. Right. No one, like everyone's reading it for the first time right now.
Yeah.
The same scientist who suggested that, whatever you said before, the first interstellar object ever detected back in 2017 was alien in nature.
Mm-hmm.
So Loeb is an interesting character. He's an enormously accomplished academic. So he's smart, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But in recent years, has often made headlines for suggesting that various detections in the cosmos might be alien spacecraft. So it's not his first rodeo.
Right.
He seems to be saying, sorry, did you see something in space? That's probably alien.
That's probably aliens.
I'm going to write a paper.
Look at the moon. That's probably. I'd buy that though. If he said the moon was aliens, I'd buy that.
Yeah, for sure. Why not?
The moon is aliens.
His quest for alien artifacts to be sensationalist in nature. In his latest paper, to be fair, Loeb acknowledges that there's a good chance that this object, 3I Atlas, is not from an extraterrestrial civilization at all. It even says in the paper. They didn't mention that in the other one.
Oh, look, as long as he puts that in the paper, it could be aliens, but it's probably not. So, I mean, that's the kind of paper I'd write. The moon could be aliens, but it's probably not. Well,
there's a possibility that my penis is 12 inches long. I mean, to be honest, most likely, if we measure it, we'll find it's about 6.5. But there is a possibility in some universe or maybe a parallel dimension.
Only if you use a joke ruler.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, I just thought it was interesting. This one seems a little bit more honest to me. And the fact that he's done it he's made this claim a few times. He's getting on in age. Maybe he's losing his marbles a little bit, this dude. But you know what? It's funny because, you get, for instance, you remember during do you remember that thing we had, that pandemic? It was a few years ago now, so you've probably forgotten. The COVID or whatever it was called. So, yeah, there was this COVID thing. And I remember there were actually quite a very small amount, I suppose, comparatively, of people writing scientific papers saying, hey, this COVID thing might not be as bad as they're making out. Maybe masks don't work very well. Maybe lockdowns are unnecessary and do more harm than good. And for some reason, in that scenario, the news covered the so-called majority scientific consensus, because that's what's always right. In this case, there's one non-peer reviewed paper from a guy who may be losing his marbles, and it's in the headlines.
Fantastic.
What are we supposed to think about that?
Yeah.
Scott?
I'm not sure about that.
I know what I think about it.
Yeah.
I have an argument with a friend, Brendan in the US. He lives near New York, somewhere in like New Jersey or something like that. And I know he lives near New York because he goes and watches like stage shows. So he must be like driving distance. Okay. Anyway, he's a very, very fervent conspiracy theorist. He believes every conspiracy theory you could possibly imagine. His bar for evidence is as low as you could possibly imagine.
Okay.
If it makes sense in his worldview, as in there's an elite doing it and it sounds even technologically feasible in a sci-fi novel, he'll be okay with it.
Yeah.
And one of the things he always argues to me is that they're going to do the alien invasion false flag soon, the Operation Bluebeam thing. And I always just say to him, I don't think they will, because one, I don't think people will believe it. I think people will just go, that's bullshit. And two, I don't think they need to do it because of what we talked about in the last podcast. You know, we've got a path to totalitarianism now.
Yeah.
And it doesn't involve any alien threat. It doesn't actually involve any more pandemics. I mean, you could throw them in the mix just to speed things along, maybe.
Sure.
But then I started seeing these articles and I'm like, you know what, dude, I think you might be right. I think they are going to try and do it, or at least they're putting out the testing ground for whether or not this is something that people will find credible. But when I look at the comments online, I'm like, if they're reading the same comments as me, they're just going to back off the plans completely. There's no way anyone's going to believe. Like, could you spin this into a War of the World scenario where everyone believes it's real? You know, like what? I don't know. I know they're very creative, or at least they hire very creative people, because of course we know the powers that be can't actually create anything because they're interdimensional reptilian aliens and don't have a creative brain. But
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe they'll come up with something that's compelling, and if they do, I'll be impressed. But I won't be convinced, and I just can't imagine anybody buying into an alien. And why risk it if you don't need it?
I think they're sowing the seeds. You know what I mean? I think they
are
keep sowing the seeds just in case, because, you know, one day they might need.
It's just stoking the flame. You think it's just simmering in the background?
Yeah, it's just like, you know, one day maybe, you know, they'll want to do it. You know, one day it'll be like, roll out the aliens. Are you familiar with the theory that, you know, Starship Troopers?
Yeah.
Are you familiar with theory that woman pilot caused the war? Like, it flips the entire story kind of on its head, and it sort of shows it's kind of.
Are you talking about within the narrative of the movie? I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with it.
Okay, well,
explain it to me.
Okay, so at the start of the movie, they're out flying around, and she's the pilot. She's piloting the spacecraft, and she crashes into a comet. She
Denise Richards or whatever her name is, right?
The comet's coming along like this, and she comes underneath, and she just fucking bam, and then steers out of it. But that's at the very start of the movie, right? That comet.
Okay. Yeah.
She hits it. She changes its course. That comet then goes and hits the Earth, starting the war. Earth goes, these fuckers attacked us for no reason, but they didn't. So this is another theory. This is a theory behind it, which I really like, because it kind of shows how America operates a lot of times. Whether like, you know, they're always
unintended consequences.
Yeah, and it's like and what happened in World War II with Churchill going, Germany's bombing us for no reason. They just started bombing us completely unprovoked, which is not what happened at all.
No, yeah.
So it's just a really good comment on the way that kind of stuff unfolds, where it was actually humans' fault that the whole thing. Now it's just a theory, because we don't know that is the exact thing that hit the Earth. We don't know that that's the one, but it's an interesting theory. But yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that. I haven't. I never came across that. I never really looked into. I mean, I watched the movie a bunch of times. I really liked it, but I thought it was pretty, you know, self-explanatory. Like, I didn't think it had any sort of deep meaning. I mean, obviously it's a satire, you know, so it's got a deeper meaning, but it's a pretty obvious one.
Yeah. Oh, I just love that theory. that I find that really entertaining. Like, this is again why you should not have women pilots. You shouldn't have women shouldn't be voting.
She was a fantastic pilot. She was amazing for some reason. I mean, like literally, it was like using a PlayStation, but
that actually
she was amazing at it.
But that film, I really think that kind of explains where a lot of people think that this is heading, with all this stuff where everyone's equal and women can do what men can do and men can do what women can do and all this stuff. I think that really is like where they think that it will end up, where like men and women are in the trenches fighting together, and there's really, just kind of no difference between. I don't know. It's just I think that is one of the things they see.
Well, yeah, I wonder. Do you think men are more becoming like women, or women are more becoming like men, though?
Well,
because I feel like men are making the progress there. Like the sort of younger generation of men are less sort of, less manly, testosterone, less masculine.
I think it's kind of going both ways.
Whatever that means.
I think it's going both ways.
It is going both ways, but who's winning? Who's going further? Is the feminine male more feminine than a masculine woman is masculine?
Good question. I'd say there's more feminine males
on average,
because
I think so too. I think
it's just that men are better at everything, and we're even better at being women than women.
Oh, it's difficult for women to achieve being like men. Yeah, that's what it is.
No one's more feminine than a man.
That's the thing. Men are better at being feminine than women.
What's
I mean, as
feminine?
It turns out.
What's more feminine than a big hairy back?
Look, we still can't give birth, so women have that advantage, and that's, I think, undeniable.
Yeah.
And then that's why men got everything else. They're just better at everything else.
Yeah.
It's like, well, we're going to give women this one really special role, and that's a privilege, and it's an amazing miracle when they do it. I mean, imagine just sitting around for 9 months. It must be really boring, and you'd have to like come up with a hobby and shit.
What are you up to today?
But
just dating.
Just dating again.
Just dating.
It sounds really disgusting for some reason.
Doesn't it? Yeah. You know what I realized as well?
It's a miracle, though.
You know what
it's
else
a miracle.
sounds weird? I want to be an apiarist.
That's a bee.
It's a
bee hive operator.
Beekeeper, yeah. But it's funny because
beekeeper, yes.
Being an apiarist, it sounds like something you get accused of in Hollywood. Something like,
well,
if
I would never be an apiarist because I don't support bestiality. Okay, so we're gonna have to end this interview. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Good times.
Good.
Apparently, I'm very distracting. Calm down, Sandy. Get a cold teaspoon.
Oh boy.
What else were we going to?
I thought I felt some sexual tension. Luckily, it wasn't what I suspected, that it was between the two of us. It must have been Sandy.
Exactly. Well, there's always the sexual tension between us. I mean,
yeah,
it is what it is. That's because I don't know where that was going. We're just riffing.
Forbidden fruit.
Forbidden fruit. He's the forbidden fruit. That'd be a great name for like a gay entertainer. The Forbidden Fruit.
The Forbidden Fruit. Yeah.
A gay Muslim. The Forbidden Fruit. You know what I like about the Muslims? Everyone's like, oh, they throw gays off roofs and stuff. They don't like the gays, but like they give them free flying lessons. That's what I've heard.
I thought that was the CIA giving the Muslims free flying lessons.
Yeah. Fucking 9/11. We should do a whole thing about 9/11, even though it's completely redundant. I actually went down. I've gone down.
Is it redundant though? I think there's plenty of people who still think that was just
there's still people that,
a natural occurrence.
I suppose, yeah. And even if, I don't know that they believe that, but there's definitely people that push the narrative because they don't want like anything. This is something I noticed going back to the Christian thing. Christians seem to accept anything except anti-Semitism. My favorite, I reposted it on Twitter. Just this, I just clipped it. This woman respond. I said something, and then this woman said something, and then someone else came along and said something else to her that was like a bit more nasty than anything I'd said. I was just, making a point. And she came back and went, "I'm a Christian, you anti-Semitic cunt." And I just thought it's amazing how like Christians will like tolerate so much, but come at the Jews, they're like fucking, "Oh no, you've crossed a line."
Yeah,
I don't know.
it doesn't make any sense, does it?
But speaking, but
it's very confusing.
That ties it.
But did you see like even who was it who turned this week? I sent you a message about it.
Oh really?
Who's decided?
Oh, someone else has come over. Or which way? Hang on, which way did they go?
Like, they went to call the Israelis to call off the war.
Oh, right. Well, a lot of people are doing that now. Like the amount of people.
Yeah, but who was it this week?
Is it in the main
it was
thread?
Quite surprising.
In the main thread or the private one? Main thread.
The main thread, I think.
It's well, it's kind of amazing the amount of people that are coming out and turning around. I don't know what this UN stuff is going to do. I don't know if it's going to do anything. Because what does the UN ever do? They disapprove of shit. They just go, "We strongly condemn your actions." And then people just go along. We'll go over there and observe, which is great. I bet the Gazans would feel really like, I feel so secure now that I'm being observed by the UN as I'm starving to death and getting shot trying to get some food to feed my kids.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we could do a whole thing about 9/11. I've also gone down the Port Arthur rabbit hole, and that goes so deep. They were actually apparently they were planning on doing the massacre on the Isle of the Dead, which would have given it, and there would have been like 80 American tourists, and it would have been on the Isle of the Dead, which sounds way cooler. Like the whole thing.
That's way cooler.
It went like that would have been just so catchy. It literally sounds like when you look into the potential plan of what happened, it really sounds like it was just absolutely planned, and it went wrong. It was exactly the same plan as they did in Norway, because they wanted to burn the ferry and people would have to jump into the ocean and then they would drown because they couldn't get away. And yeah, it's just nuts. But the guy missed the ferry because he stopped to help a couple of chicks. See, women ruin everything.
Right.
Women just interfere, and a man just wants to go out and commit a mass murder, and women get in the way.
That's exactly right. I actually remember like when that happened, I had never heard of a conspiracy theory before. And I remember hearing a few weird things about that massacre.
Yeah.
And just going, "Oh, that's conspiracy nonsense."
Yeah.
Like I was so in the mindset of like the mainstream.
Yeah.
I didn't take it seriously. I'd love to look at it again. Maybe that's something we could do an episode on.
We should actually, because there is a lot to it. There's like, it's such a deep and dark rabbit hole. And when you look at it as well, it's like Martin Bryant could not have pulled this off on his own. The cops being sent away and the amount of evidence there is that just this was not what they say it was. And the amount of people that said there will be a massacre in Tasmania. We won't change gun laws until there's a massacre in Tasmania. Like they were putting it in the conscious.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, it's fucking unbelievable.
All the hallmarks of the false flag with the predictive programming and everything else that goes on.
Yeah.
So I found that clip. Do you want to see it?
Yes, please.
This is what I was trying to think of. I don't know why I couldn't remember, but it's Lex Fridman. Let's have a listen.
See, Sandy even agrees. Yep, we are such a pain in the
Please allow
ass.
me to say a few words.
Filthy says
about Gaza,
this
Israel,
podcast
and
has been brought
Palestine.
to you by Jizzcoin. Go on.
I think we need to do it. We need to actually make that.
Can
coin.
we make an? We need to, and then we need to make an AI clip of Lex Friedman promoting Jizzcoin. It's the only coin.
That would be
I like.
awesome.
It's the coin of the future. Get your Jizzcoin. Get your sock wallet.
If we
now.
pay him enough, he'll shill for it.
Yeah,
he'll shill for our jizz.
Fuck yeah. If we promise.
I'm not sure I'm eloquent enough or know quite the right words to express what I'm feeling, but let me try. I think what is happening in Gaza is an atrocity. And I think that the Israeli government is directly responsible for it. And to the degree the U.S. government is assisting the Israeli government in this, which I believe it currently is, it needs to stop immediately. For me, as an American, it makes me sick to know that my government has any role in this atrocity. This needs to stop. Yes, there's geopolitical and military complexity, nuance, and historical context that I'm told by some so-called experts that one must understand. And perhaps they are smarter than me. But, like mentioned before, unlike the moral complexity of deep history that I've often spoken about, from the Roman Empire to the Atlantic slave trade, this is the 21st century.
I love that. Is this Lex Friedman?
I don't think it is.
Did someone create a bot?
I actually.
What is this?
I do remember. I remember now when you sent this because, yeah, he's now coming out and saying that the Gaza situation's bad, but he's still shilling for the Ukraine war. So they'll always back one or the other. This is what I mean.
You know what I think it is?
What's that?
You know what my guess is?
What's that?
I think he's an insider.
Yeah,
and I think
he's 100%.
they've told him the war is ending. The war is ending. Get some social credit while you still can. Yeah, jump on the bandwagon. Say whatever you want. It doesn't matter anymore. We're ending it in 2 weeks anyway.
Okay.
And I think he's just gone, you know what? I better get on the popular bandwagon and say it. Yeah.
Damn it. Yeah. I don't want to be on the wrong side of
If
history.
if it does end in 2 weeks, it won't be because Lex Friedman said this, but it may well be why he said it.
Not that he won't take credit for it, but you know, 2
No,
weeks ago,
he'll take credit for
I
it.
condemned the war in Gaza, and now it's over. You're welcome.
And the powers that be obviously heard my voice, even though I'm very stupid and I'm very humble.
Well, do you know what's
I'm
going on?
not very smart.
Actually, I mentioned this on the thread. You said I should educate you about it. I said next time we're on stream. I can't fully educate you about it because I don't know enough about it. But what I do know is they are sending Jewish people to Ukraine. They're paying them to go there. They're paying local people to put them up in their houses, which you would be kind of stupid to take that money. If you look at the Gazan situation, how, you know, putting them up in their houses worked out for them, that would be a really foolish move. But I just find it very interesting that the war has wiped out all the males that are of an age that could breed, and now they're filling the country with Jewish people. I just find that fascinating. So it seems like they're taking back the Khazarian Empire. But yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm not aware of the Khazarian Empire, so that's a spot of history I need to look into, I guess.
That's another episode we can do. I guess we'll do a deep dive on the Jews, the Jewish question.
Well, we better make it daily then.
Yeah,
we can get through all this material.
No, I'm really over all that shit. I try not to fucking.
Oh yeah, me too.
It's just too much.
I mean, I still watch when Piers Morgan gets some like higher up people from the governments of either Israel or Palestine and tries to get them to fight. I still watch that stuff because I figure it's actually
still
it really
funny.
is relevant what they think about it.
Yeah.
But I'm not listening to like Dave Smith anymore. Like I love listening to Dave Smith. Don't get me wrong. I'm not against him.
Yeah.
But I'm just like not indulging in those sort of, you know, infotainment type things about it. We can all argue about it. Like, none of us are most of us aren't experts in Israel and Palestine. And
I think I've said before as well, there's fake news and stuff coming out on both sides, so it's very hard to know what to believe. But I do see in the, I mean, the MSM's covering it quite a lot as well. And I mean, they're actually going there and getting images. So I don't know why people have to, create fake images and use, anything. There is a great video about the October 7 attacks. I covered it in the thing the other night. Oh, no, I didn't. It's the videos that came out. What concerns me is the videos that came out that were like, these are the October 7ers, these are the guys attacking them, and da-da-da-da-da. It was just like, and these videos were later on proven to be AI. If you remember the October 7 attacks, that journalists would go over there and they would show them this stuff privately and say, but you can't show anyone else. Like, this stuff is just too... But it was like, here's the proof of everything that happened. Well, I'm now wondering...
I know that. I'm aware that was supposedly what happened, but yeah, I'm not sure.
Well, they
anymore.
just kept showing them. They would show these people privately, and I remember at the time we questioned it, and we were going, well, what else have they paid these people? Like, this is not how you report news. The Trust Me Bro News Network. Like, we should actually start a news network called the Trust Me Bro News Network, brought to you by Jizzcoin, backed by Jizzcoin.
Yeah, definitely.
Trust Me Bro Network.
Everybody knows.
Yeah.
Everybody knows the only way to deliver news is to put together a dossier and give it to a bunch of influencers who can then go on their podcasts and explain it to everybody else.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? That worked with Epstein. It satisfied everybody, and the whole issue just went away.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you see recently on, I think it was Jimmy Dore today or yesterday, he covered a breakdown of the cell door footage, the Epstein 24-hour raw video.
Yeah.
There's a couple of things in that. One is the camera is pointing in a direction that just cuts off the stairs that go up to Epstein's cell. So basically anybody could come in from the other direction, go up the stairs, and it's, you can just see the stairs, right? So there's people who go up and down there. Epstein himself goes up, obviously, to go to bed or whatever he's doing.
Right.
And you see that in the footage. And then you see other people go up, and they go up the other side of the stairs and they just disappear. But they're going up there because they're going to take Epstein something or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they did a thing. It's got a 3D map of what the prison looks like and where the camera's pointing. And it's just nonsense to say that would cover someone, everybody going in or out, right? It's just nonsense. But the funniest part of it was, at a certain point in the footage, a mouse cursor appears and moves and then disappears. So it's not raw footage, is it?
No.
There's no mouse cursor in security footage. You just bought a security system for your father. Is there mouse cursors in that?
No, there's
it's a screen capture of the footage.
Yeah, yeah. And wasn't
so
it edited?
It's not raw footage.
Wasn't it edited on? It was edited on Adobe, and it's been shown that it was edited on Adobe and all this kind of stuff.
I haven't been able to verify that, but I saw that, and of course it's it's missing the minute as well and all that stuff. I mean, it doesn't matter because it's not covering the stairs to his cell.
But there's something in the
anybody
metadata.
Could go up the right side of those stairs.
But there's something in the metadata that says it was edited by this person, and I can't remember the name of it. But people are like, well, can we talk to this person who edited it, and why?
Right.
Do you feed your security footage straight to Adobe fucking Premiere or whatever it was? It's ridiculous. Yeah. Also, there were people talking about an orange blur. What was the orange blur? They said something about this.
When Epstein goes up to his cell?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's someone goes up the stairs and it's an orange blur. I'm not sure. I think they said it could be Epstein himself, or it could be someone going up to take him sheets, or I don't know. People go in and out, that's the other thing. And I don't know how you're supposed to know who goes in and out. I guess there's a log of people moving around, the staff moving around.
And he was
I don't know. But either way, the mouse cursor gets me. I'm just like, if that's true, and I pretty much trust Jimmy Dore to get it right. I don't think he's gonna he's got a team of people who try and keep the stuff. I mean, I know he goes out there occasionally, but
Yeah.
he generally stays within the lines of what he can prove.
Yeah.
If there's a mouse cursor in the footage, I mean, that just blows it. I don't even know what it means exactly. Like, I don't know, like it being a screen capture isn't necessarily worse or not, but who sits there and captures their screen for 24 hours
But
playing
also,
a video from a...
If it's screen captured, why, like, then surely the data could be overlaid as well. I mean, there's just so much about it that, like the Epstein thing, I don't know, I find it just a crazy situation. I can't believe that Trump, like a big part of what got him elected was I'll release all this stuff. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to be so transparent. We're going to, and now he's just, it's just incredibly disappointing, but not unexpected, as I've said before, not unexpected. But
there was something about that his name is redacted in all the documentation as well, on the basis that he was a private citizen when it happened. So he gets privacy protection.
Okay.
From the FOIA requests. Well, so I don't know what's going on there. I don't actually think it's necessarily just Trump protecting himself. My guess is that what he's said about his interactions with Epstein are probably pretty correct or pretty honest.
Yeah.
Because I don't understand why you would say you knew him and you were good friends and then you had a falling out and then, you know, explain what the falling out was. It was because I think Epstein tried to poach one of his catering staff or something like that. And he told him, don't fucking do that, and threw him out of Mar-a-Lago. I mean, you wouldn't say that wouldn't be a cover story. It'd be like, well, I caught him in a room, you know, talking to a 12-year-old boy, and I just couldn't stand for that. So I asked him to leave, and I told him to never come back. You wouldn't say he was poaching staff. That's completely innocuous.
Yeah.
You know? Like, it's not even that great a reason to fall out with a friend, really.
No, but there are, well, no, in those things you do, like, that is one of the worst things. But I mean, it seems catering staff, it really doesn't seem that big a deal. I mean, if it's a stripper or something, you know, someone that's you've got a certain, you know, an asset, a serious asset, if they're trying to poach assets. But there's so much more to it than that. Like, I see it as they've got years and years worth of compromise. They're not giving that up. You're not going to, like, all that work that was done, and the CIA was more than likely involved. The other aspect of it is that Trump is definitely owned by Jewish interests at this point.
For sure.
I mean, $100 million, you don't just give someone $100 million, no strings attached. There are so many fucking strings. There's 100 million strings attached to that $100 million. Miriam Adelson. So if it was in the fucking files and it was going to come out and it was like, yes, he was absolutely 100% Mossad, the Mossad, Israel don't want that coming out, because that would make people go, look, well, now we've got proof. We know he's Mossad, but now we've got actual documented proof that these people have infiltrated your government. And I'd say he's also protecting other people, and he's stated that, well, now we're using it to get our way, which is even more disturbing. You know, like,
I think the thing that people maybe don't comprehend about, I mean, I don't know obviously anything about this. It's just conjecture, but I think the idea that this was, you know, like you would get someone to come in and you would say, what do you like? You like young girls, young boys? You like a bit of this, a bit of that? And then they film them and then they go, right, we got you. You're an idiot because you didn't know. We were filming you the whole time. And now you're our puppet and you'll do whatever we say. I think that's a misunderstanding. I think the system is that you must voluntarily submit yourself to compromise.
Well, yeah,
I think it's you must perform some act that you would never want, but you're doing it knowing you're getting filmed. You know you're getting entrapped.
Yeah, to join that club.
And then you're in the club.
But also,
it's how you pledge your loyalty, right? You say, well, I don't care what you have on me because I will never break your trust.
Yeah, but also there's the aspect that Epstein was he was a facilitator, exactly the same way as a drug dealer, right? You can't just go to the yellow pages, and be like, I feel like some meth tonight. Let's go to the yellow pages and I'll look up my local meth dealer. You have to know the meth dealer or the heroin dealer or the pot, whoever it is. So that facilitator can get you what you want. So when you're in those circles, and also, as you say, there are those, like the Club of Rome or whatever it is, they particularly like to get access to be on the higher levels of that and really operate at that level. You are now in the club. You are going to compromise yourself. So yeah, he was a facilitator, and people don't give up their facilitators. Like, it's just the idea of that is crazy. So it really is a deviance club. I mean, So
well, it has to be. It's a cacostocracy, right? It's the rule of the worst.
Yeah.
And they make sure they surround themselves with more of the worst.
Yeah.
Because they're the people who'll be loyal. No, a good person won't be loyal to someone who's a pedophile or who's murdering children or trafficking children or whatever it is that they're doing. You just can't work with those people if you're like that, right? If you're some psychopathic person who's going off and got no conscience and just doing whatever business deals that make sense,
Yeah.
So you can't. How else could you do it? To me, this isn't even a theory. It's like it's an epiphany.
Yeah.
That you couldn't possibly run this network any other way. You can't have a network of good people who are not compromisable.
Yeah.
Because you can't trust anybody.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, I suppose if you're actually doing good things, maybe you'd get away with it for a while, but it seems like that's not really possible under capitalism.
It's been explored as well, like even in books like Less Than Zero. The guy that wrote Less Than Zero and American Psycho, he explores that kind of stuff all the time, where there's certain groups of people and they find each other. It's like there's often been, groups of serial killers that keep in contact with each other. And they keep it secret, but they just find they have a common interest. There's groups of pedophiles that keep in. So and the people that go into these clubs and attain these levels of power are the kind of people who just absolutely that's what they're into. The same as, I used to be into drugs. A lot of people well, that's reprehensible. Well, I was like, well, yeah, but I was into drugs. So I took a lot of drugs. These people, they're just into what they're into. They're just like, well, this is how we live. We see you as cattle. Like, they look at us with our morals and our oh, you won't fuck a child. They're like, oh,
that's a weakness, right?
You're gay because you won't fuck a child. That's how they think. That's how these fucking people think. So yeah,
it's actually funny you would mention it, because I was watching Dexter Resurrection. I'm glad I didn't say erection, but this episode, it was quite weird. It like the whole show seemed like it was going in one direction, and then it resolved in 3 episodes.
Really?
And I was like, what's next week? Like, what's happening?
Yeah.
And it turns out Dexter he kills a serial killer. That's what he does. It's not a spoiler. He does that all the time. That's his whole thing.
That's his shtick.
And he finds an invitation in a folder that guy got, saying, come to blah blah blah, some castle somewhere. And he's like, oh, maybe I'll just go in his place. And he goes, and it turns out it's a serial killer convention. This rich guy brings all these serial killers to a mansion.
Yep.
He's got a museum of mementos from all of the big serial killers, even the real known ones from the real world.
Yeah.
And stuff like this. It was awesome, because they bring in a whole bunch of well-known actors to play the serial killers. It's fantastic. I don't even want to spoil who's in it, but it's amazing, the number of cameos and shit and big actors that just turn up. But I was like, this is awesome. But also, what made them think of this? How is this even a plausible turn for the show to take?
No, but that's that idea there's a graphic novel about death and about dream, and it's all these like mythical. I can't fucking remember the. It's Neil Gaiman, and they made it into.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's on Netflix, and it follows death around, and that's the someone captures death for a while, so there's no death, but death and his sister dream, and all these mythical creatures, and they go to hell, and they like it's this whole thing. But in that series, there is a part of it where there's this cereal convention, and it's like it's like the front is we just people who make cereal, but it's actually a serial killers convention.
Okay.
And they get together and they compare notes, and they have rules. They're like, you can't kill anyone while you're here, but some of them break the rules.
Yeah,
and,
it was the same. Yeah, it's the same in Dexter, but it's more like an AA meeting for serial killers where they just sort of sitting around. It's so nice to be able to just talk openly about this guy that I killed or whatever I did.
Yeah.
Kind of funny, but Dexter's pretending to be the other serial killer, even though he is a serial killer himself.
Yeah.
But he's a serial killer who kills serial killers, so he can't admit that to the other serial killers.
Yeah.
But he kills one like the day after the meeting.
Okay.
So I don't know what's gonna. It's weird, but anyway, I think it's a pretty cool thing for the show to do. But it just made me think of it when you were like, when you were saying serial killers find serial killers. I mean, maybe there is something in the real world that sort of inspired this.
Well, there's also even the Crow. He was the killer of killers, and like it's Well, I suppose not the Crow so much, but yeah, that was in Neil Gaiman's graphic novel. I remember that particularly, that episode. Like they all turn up, and he does a joke, and it's such a stupid joke. He goes, he's the first speaker at the serial killers convention, and
right,
he goes up, he gets on the stage, and he's sweating, and he's like nervous, and he's going, "You laugh, you fuckers," and all this. And his opening joke is, a woman walks into a police station, and she goes, "I want to report a crime. I was reaped." And the cop goes, don't you mean raped?" And she goes, "No, he used a scythe." Like, it's just,
it's sort of funny. It's a pun. Yeah.
So that's I just I don't know, I remember that from years ago, reading that, and I remember it was one of Clayton's favorite jokes. He loved that joke. Yeah.
I think it's better if you stop at saying "I was reaped." I thought it was funny at that. Like I got it from that.
Just
it doesn't need further explanation. Or maybe it does. I'm not sure. Like if everybody would get it, but I think I did.
Yeah. No, it's just
like
I don't know. I just remember that series. It was a very good series, very popular graphic novel. If anyone out there can remember the name of it, but yeah, Neil Gaiman. Yeah,
I think we need to call him Gaiman.
Gaiman, is it Gaiman? Okay.
So a lot of this crazy conspiracy theory is becoming quite mainstream these days. And not just through Hollywood, but through Jimmy Dore. And I just wanted to show you a little bit of this interview. He did 2 interviews, I think it was maybe 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
With victims of MK Ultra mind control and the Monarch projects.
Yeah.
One was what's her name? Kathy, the really famous one anyway, who wrote the book on it basically. And then there was this one, Juliet Engel, who I hadn't heard before, I don't think. I might have seen her in a documentary a few times, but anyway, she wasn't as familiar. And then she just pops up on Jimmy Dore, and there was a couple of interesting things about it, but have a listen to what she's talking about. It's amazing.
Okay.
Sure. I'm 76 years old. I was 6 years old in 1955 when my father sold me into the MK Ultra program. My whole family were CIA, NSA agents. My uncle's one of the founders of the NSA. I could go into that, but anyway, I was one of the first of the bloodline kids who was sold into this program. And I was in it for 11 years. It involved physical abuse, sexual abuse, mental abuse, satanic rituals, and an entire program of building a structure in your mind that could be externally controlled. It also included remote viewing, and I was in the division of the program. It was the Monarch program, and as a pretty little girl, I was put in the sex magic program, and that was more about sexual abuse than sex magic, but it was also about teaching us to project sexual energy into other people and then use that to control them. So anyway, it was a terrible experience. The core of the program, every session would start with being tied to a spinning wheel and hearing the chant. And this is really, really important to what's happening in our country right now, because they would chant over and over, there is no day, there is no night, there is no light, there is no dark, there is no man, there is no woman, there is no adult, there is no child, there is no up, there's no down, on and on and on, going faster and faster and faster until they would reach a climax when you were just absolutely ready to die. And at that point, as the person tied on the wheel, I was supposed to give up my soul in a flash of green. And they would say, there is only green. And I think most people did, because if you gave up your soul, then you were rewarded from that moment on. You were the singer that couldn't sing but gets the $1 million contract, the writer that can't write but sells all the books. You eventually worked your way into, I believe, the things, unaccountable agencies like the Senior Executive Service. And yes, that was 70 years ago.
I mean, this is on Jimmy Dore.
Yeah.
He used to believe COVID wasn't a conspiracy theory. Like only a few years ago, and now he's doing this. And I worked out why. I think it's coming from Kurt. I think Kurt is pushing this stuff. And Jimmy, he was very inactive in this. He just said, look, I don't know anything about this. This is blowing my mind. I don't know what to tell you. Just say whatever you want. That's how he conducted the interview, basically.
Yeah, right.
But then Kurt came on and said this. I thought it was really interesting.
They all had accents. Dr. Reeves all had accents.
Can I ask a question, though, real quick? I was in GATE, which is Gifted and Talented Education, which you might have heard of. So I don't remember any of it. I have no idea what we did in that. I remember a pink drink, and that's all I got. Do you have any idea what that is?
It's probably some version of this. I mean, I was in it for weeks at a time. Many people are not. They're in it for a course or a test, or they're testing something, or they're trying something out. But I mean, the trauma is there. So I also want.
So did you catch what he said? He was in GATE?
He was in GATE, yeah. I've been hearing more about the GATE program too, yeah.
So I mean, this sort of explains Kurt a little bit, right? Because he's like a bit of a twitchy guy. Like it's sort of part of his charisma, but also kind of it's a little bit. He's a little bit offbeat like that.
Yeah.
And so is she. Like if you listen to a lot of these MK Ultra interviews, they all have trouble speaking. Roseanne's another one who claims to have been MK Ultra'd in some way or whatever, and she's similar. She sort of has trouble holding a thread in her mind, and speaks with a lot of hesitation and sort of almost like she's about to cry or something. Like there's a lot of emotion welling up when they try to speak.
Yeah,
it's interesting. I don't know how credible it is, but I find it more credible when it reaches Jimmy Dore than, when you see David Icke talking about it or something like that or whatever.
Well, I've heard so many people talking about it, and I do believe that. I mean, we know the MK Ultra things happened.
Yeah, it was real. We don't know the extent of it, and we know the documents that were released and they were redacted, and who knows? They could have just been cover documents for the insanity that went on.
We know the kind of levels of evil these people will do in the pursuit of what they consider some kind of practical science. And I truly believe
it was an extension of Nazi experiments. So, I mean, It's inherently going to be anti-human, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I truly believe that the MK Ultra is what they're doing to us now. Like the product of
she
MK
says that.
Ultra. Yeah, right. So they've found ways to control people, and that's what they're doing. Yeah, I absolutely believe these people.
The trauma-based techniques are being used on, can be used on a population. It's not.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to create a Manchurian candidate, a million Manchurian candidates just from them watching Hollywood movies.
No,
obviously, but the same techniques get used.
Mm.
You know, it's why Bambi's mother dies at the start of Bambi and things like that. It's like, that's horrible.
You
like,
notice
what
that
are you doing?
that was in Finding Nemo as well. It's in so many movies. The mother gets killed straight off. It's like the first thing that happens, which is, I guess that's the way to write a successful screenplay. First of all, kill the mother, just like straight up.
Yeah, that's right.
Imagine being an actress in Hollywood and you're like, oh fuck, I've cast as the mother. I'll be on screen for like 5 fucking minutes. Great.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. I find it credible. I'll send you the link if you haven't seen the interview. But
yeah, do.
But also the Kathy. What's her surname? It's definitely Kathy. Anyway, she was on like a few days later, and it was a similar sort of thing. Except I've heard Kathy talking about it a lot. She's in all the old documentaries and YouTube conspiracy videos and stuff.
Yeah.
But these ladies have finally hit the big time after 70 years, and they can get their message out, whether or not they're just crazy old ladies or something. I don't know. But like you say, we know MK Ultra happened.
Yeah.
We know Project Monarch was a real thing that existed. We don't know what it was.
Yeah.
But Monarch apparently was just the strain of MK Ultra that was for bloodline kids that you didn't want to, that weren't disposable. They had to survive, and you wanted to train them to have talents and be exceptional, and also obviously to follow the family line and be satanic and whatever else.
Well, it's interesting. She said the singer that can't sing that gets because there were a lot of those. The singer that can't sing that gets the contract. The writer that can't write. Constantine in the chat. How are you, brother? We should do an episode, man. I've been thinking about that. We should do an episode. I was talking to Constantine a while ago. We were going to do an episode where we just invited everyone on, so everyone could just come on.
Cool.
It's a bit logistically. It's like I've kind of thrown it out there and stuff, and it's just logistically, it's really hard to do.
Not if you use that new thing, that ninja thing.
Maybe
that'd be pretty easy. And I could coordinate it from here if you want. We could try it that way.
Yeah, the one issue with you producing conversations using StreamYard is the delay in the chat. I've noticed when I was talking to Axel, because I'm reacting and I'm speaking and it's broadcasting from here, there's a slight delay. So but because I'm reacting to the delay that I'm receiving, it goes out as a natural conversation. It's just more natural. So yeah, but that's one thing. We have to experiment. But yeah, if we can get the ninja thing working, we could possibly do that. We pick a day, let everyone know.
Let's do some tests during the week. Like I can help when I finish work or whatever. So it'll be a bit late for you, a bit later. But
that's all right. I do late.
Still up and about at 9 or 10 o'clock. Yeah.
Well, I haven't been going live until like 11 at night anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah. I'm pretty much always up late as well. It's just that I'm 3 hours earlier than you, so it makes it 3 hours later for you.
Yeah. Yeah, nice.
Have we done 90 minutes yet?
At least. I think we've done a couple of hours. It's 9:15 now, so I think we've at least done a couple of hours. So all right, well we'll wrap it up. So Constantine, you've just come in at the end of the show, mate. But yeah, anyway, it's all good. We'll try and do that, getting everyone on. But I do also just want to say, just to clarify, we love women here. We do love women. We make jokes. Of
course we do.
That's all it is. We're just making jokes. We're just giving you a bit of a ribbon. But I just want to let you know, we do love you, and we love you all.
I don't think we ever gave the impression we didn't love women, did we? I hope not.
I hope not.
It's only when you make jokes and they're not funny. But I think I think most of our jokes landed okay. It's hard to know because we're just talking to a camera.
It's that's what you find with like I mean, Steve talked about this as well. There's so many factors, and that's what I learned from doing stand up live. Like you can go on, you can have a joke, and it can be a funny joke, but if you don't have the charm to pull it off, and you offend the crowd, they will pull back, and it's so hard to get them back. But Steve told me a story about one night they were in the green room, and he was there with Jim Jeffries, and there was a female comedian in there, and it was like the end of the night or whatever. And Jim turns to the girl and goes, "Well, I guess it's you getting raped tonight." And they all laughed, right? Because it was Jim. Because Jim's got that charm about him. And Steve said, if I'd have fucking said that, they'd have killed me. You know, I'd have been, because he doesn't have the charm that Jim Jeffries has. Because Jim is great at having that fucking charm. He's really good at it.
Yeah.
Have you've seen
he lost it for a while, but he's back now.
Yeah. I'm still trying to figure out how I can rip off that bit that he does about the divorce rates. Because that stuff's been going around the internet, and I've been thinking about that for a long time, because it is very telling that, like, what is it, 77% of lesbian marriages end in divorce, 54% or something of heterosexual,
and then 30% gay couples or something like that. Male gay couples. Yeah.
So we're not the problem.
Yeah,
it's a good bit, but I'm trying to figure out how to steal it, because it is very good.
I thought because we always have trouble finishing these things, why don't we finish on a clip?
Yeah,
I've got one more Coinbase ad queued up, which could play us out, and then you could just put the intro on, and
I don't actually have an intro at the moment. I've still got to edit all that together, because I need to get the other monitors so I can access my editing software. But
all right. Well, there'll be no outro.
There'll be
but we can play the clip, and then
it'll just end. So we'll say good night, and thanks for joining us, and thank you for joining me, Harvey. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, no worries. I always love it.
I've enjoyed this episode. I think this is a good episode.
I hope so. It doesn't really matter, though. We'll just keep doing it anyway.
Onwards and upwards, I say.
If no one watches it, doesn't really matter, does it? I still enjoy doing it.
I tweet constantly, and I occasionally get a like or a reply. I tweet anyway. I don't give a fuck. I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing this for me. I'm a psycho. I need therapy. This garbage needs to come out of my face. That's all this is. And if you watch the live stream, you get titties and a bit of ass and all the garbage coming out of my face. So, you know, it is what it is, baby. Roll the clip.
All right. Coinbase.
We were born into a system with numbers and papers.
And lines. And waiting. You work hard, get good grades, go to college.
I want to go to college. I got good grades.
I overachieved.
That's right, you did.
Debt is good?
Debt is so good.
So much debt. I can totally save up and buy a house and start a family.
I want a family.
Oh.
Starting a family means you need 2 or 3 jobs.
You can't afford to buy. Oh.
You can't afford to rent.
Used cars cost as much as the new ones.
Oh.
Good debt is
I was
good.
ahead of my class. Houses are too
Hard, get good grades, go
The
to college.
system, the numbers.
Rent is freaking insane.
Breaking news. Everything is terrible.
Does it have to be this way?
What if it was different?
It's always been that way.
We've got to build our way out of it. Yeah.
Put control back in the hands of the people.
A system with less paperwork.
No waiting.
Permissionless.
Just because you're born into a system
Doesn't mean you have to live with it.
Yeah, this episode of Box of Dogs brought to you by Jizz